And welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of this Kua-Toa-oriented interaction from
I hate
Arcanautus
them.
Acsent.
I hate them and they stink.
Yeah, they do stink. They smell like fish. I am currently preparing an asset, but I believe the party wanted to discuss a plan or two as they rest up. You all discuss over the course of the night, and then when you wake up in the morning from your little camp line along the coast, after viewing all of the little glowing jellyfish over the course of the night floating out in the sea. Ahem. Yeah, you were all gonna meet up, or you're currently all met up. Leon, your Sky Knight friend, has not caught up with you all yet. And yeah, you're all gonna discuss your plan to assault or defeat or generally fuck up these Kua-Toa that kind of whooped you a little bit
Oh,
last time. Just a little bit.
I see. I wouldn't put it whooped. I'd put more like, uh, you know what? Let's move on. All right. So, it would have been nice if we could have had Astros with us with Leon at with his ranged options, but since he still hasn't caught up yet, what I'm thinking is we use the their own assets against them. The most important thing is we have to get the leader off land. I mean, on land, like off the water, and if possible, to get him away from the others. So here's what I'm thinking. Uh, we know that once they hear that horn, they get they tend to come out of the water and charge towards wherever the sound came from. It's like their signal. Hopefully they will have had a new Kua-Toa take the place of the one that Sig murdered.
Back
And
in just
if
a sec.
so, okay. So if so, we can sneak in, kill that one before he can blow the horn, and then Shylv can change their shape into the Kua-Toa to blow the horn, get them to come to us, and hopefully the leader comes with, and then we lure the leader onto land, where we then, having already prepared our spells and our buffs, can jump him. And that's what I got for right now. It would have been nice if we could have lured them out with someone they haven't seen before, uh, and and kidnapped him by grapple, but that's not really gonna work out this time. So that's sort of what I got. Any other ideas?
Well,
I
I
apologize for the
have
delay.
been thinking. Clearly, they're trying to pull off some kind of ritual in there, and I have been working on using fire.
Fire?
Of the
Yeah.
ball variety? Or.
Well, heat.
Hmm.
I should probably specify that.
All
But-
right. Shylvie, you got your new icon that you drew yourself, I assume, correct?
Yep,
It looks great.
thanks. This is her
Um,
actual, like, ISO.
Nice. Very, very cool.
Oh, actually, I just realized something. Shylv, you're from this area. Do you know if there are any plants or something that are of the explosive nature? Because if we can blow up that room where the weird ritual is happening, we might be able to clear shit up.
Shylvie, you know of one type of explosive plant. It grows in a large bulb during the hottest months of the year, which currently it's not quite time for them to be, exploding naturally to spread their seeds.
no.
But yeah, that would be in the Ascending Menagerie.
Yep, dynamite
How deep
trees.
Yeah, dynamite trees. That's exactly what they're called. Let me write that down.
Like, are they deep in there, or are they like at the ridge? Like, would it be in a
Well,
They are
they're not at
within
very...
the more difficult to access parts of the forest, yes.
I see. That
They would be in the more
Although over the
difficult
course of several years they might be spreading slightly, but competition for space amongst the flora and the fauna of the Ascending Menagerie is a constant dance. So it's
The only place
yeah.
that's a constant, is the very, very top of
Yeah.
the menagerie. So I don't know exactly where they will be.
the top and kind of center portion of it, which is the Shylvie knows is the singular glade that exists within the tropical
forest at the top is all one tree.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any oil on you? I don't.
Well, I don't have any of that.
Damn.
But I do have an idea.
I'm all ears.
Ooh. To the DM, you mentioned something about jellyfish.
Yes.
ocean?
Over the course of the night, you had seen a sort of migrating, massive horde of jellyfish just floating down the coastline, being taken by the waves where they'll be taken. It was beautiful. They glowed ever so slightly.
We saw one die. It was great.
Could I make a nature check to see if they're poisonous?
They are poisonous, A. And B, yes, make a nature check to remember the exact details of the species that you were seeing or / are seeing.
Oh wait, you have.
All right. I'll double check this because I could actually get a poison because I might be able to get a contact poison out of that.
You have the chul poison. That's done.
No, as in a poison that I naturally produce.
You guys do still have those chul parts. You never sold them or anything, and they're still relatively fresh. It's only been, 2 days? Well, maybe not fresh, but...
Maybe we can
All
shove
right,
the
here we
chul
are.
poison into him.
Yeah. I have the ring now, though.
Yeah.
Although the chul poison is a little bit more unnerving for me, simply because it's not of a natural nature. Even though this might be better or worse. All right, let's see. Nature. All right, yeah, that makes sense. I don't have proficiency with it, and I don't know why I didn't take that proficiency because I literally lived in the wild for like most of my life.
Burger in the bowl is your specialty burger.
Okay.
But yeah,
Come out soon, so no one will grab it.
Okay.
all right. 14.
And this was your nature check?
Yep.
14. Yes, they are poisonous. These are a variety of jellyfish that you have seen watching the coast every so often, specifically the northern coast, as they don't drift into the central sea, surrounding the Eye of Caesar. They only ever drift through the outskirts of the Sigilgea Islands,
Yep.
drifting along a sort of circular current, picking up debris and sort of living and dying and breeding within this one current, that sort of circular current that drifts around the islands. They are, therefore, titled ring jellies. And let me just write that down.
Thank you.
Ring jellies. They are not particularly, they are magical in that they seem to emit a glow without any proper like organs that would indicate. Well, jellyfish don't have a lot of organs.
They
have a magical
biomass.
they have a magical luminescence that persists for several hours after they die. They are. You've actually seen sea turtles with like glowing beaks, having eaten up a large number of these ring jellies. Which is sort of a natural defense, as the creatures that obviously eat the ring jellies are then, glowing for a while. So that aspect of them is the main notable feature that you realize just because it's obvious through observation. Specifically, you were asking about the poison. They have a poison that has a chance to stun small or smaller creatures for a little while.
But
A very
nothing.
short span of time, but it's usually long enough for the poison to take effect as they consume their prey.
Yeah.
These jellyfish are probably only 8 inches long, grow 8 inches long tops, but they move as you saw in large groups.
All right. So not exactly a good target for gaining a contact poison. It would be nice, but not super
No, it's
useful.
actually I should say it's more of a venom. It's not really a poison.
Yeah.
But that idea did inspire me a bit with that Chul poison sac you have. If we can somehow force feed it to him, or did it affect by touch, or did it have to be like injected?
It was injected via the tentacles on the
I
tool's
see.
face.
Okay. Well, I guess that we could play rock paper scissors to decide whether we heat the sword up, heat Halo up, or buff it with poison.
Oh, I mean,
You could coat the blade with the jewel poison theoretically.
Yeah. Or we could coat your axe with it, since you're probably going to be the one crashing into them.
crashing.
Well,
Let me pull up
you
the
have a giant war axe.
Oh, you're talking about
Siegfried.
about Siegfried. So what? So how do you guys want to go about this? Do you want to go with my idea where we try to lure them out with that horn?
Oh, speaking of which, you have that. On account of you took the corpse of the guard that had it.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that until you started talking about it. You guys would have that.
So we can use that to try, but we should also try. They would probably leave one of them in that base to act as a signal like they did with us. So there might be another one there. So we might be able to get the drop on them. We can try to sneak through like this area and try to get over here and then assassinate the guy before he can get a chance to signal the others, and then we can have Shylvie shape change into him and call them over. And while that happens, we can prep our spells and stuff like that. So if you want to use heat metal on Halo, you can do that beforehand, and I can cast I can turn into my divine soul form, and Sig can turn into his scourge form if he really wants. But Sig would probably have to be hiding so that they don't see it, because it exudes a lot of light.
It also damages people around me.
Yeah, but if we're talking about melee, it would only be me and you, and I would legitimately only take 1 damage per turn. So I don't really think we'd both only take 1 damage per turn. So it's not that big a deal for us.
And as usual, I'd be staying back, peppering them with those green bolts that I can now create, and healing you when the time comes.
If it works,
All right.
it's pretty solid.
Well, we've got a plan.
All right. So how long does that?
And I feel like with rest and some more planning, that we just might be able to pull this off.
I'm going to so I have how many good berries? I have 20 good berries, so I'm gonna hand 5 to each of them, to both of you guys. If you're in a fix and you need health quick, or you need to revive someone, use these. So we have that. How long does that heat metal spell last?
Quite a while.
All right. Well, due to my ability to operate underwater, maybe to prevent them from getting too suspicious, we should have me blow the horn a good distance, a small distance off from underwater instead of above.
But wouldn't they just go? We need them on land. If you're underwater, they'll just travel to underwater, to wherever they hear it. We need them on land because me and Sig can't really do anything to them in water.
Fair point.
Though I do like the idea of maybe once the combat starts, if you hide in the water in case they try to escape that way. We don't want them to. That would be our prime objective, to stop them from, at least to stop the priest from going back in the water. But having someone in there that can, one, tell us if where he went, and two, potentially act as a cover so that he can't get too deep in there, so maybe we can stop him from escaping. That does sound like a good idea.
All right. Well, then I'll play support from underwater. We have a plan.
Okay. What do you think about? How about you transform? How long can you stay transformed? Is it just however long you want?
Well, depends on what the requirements are and how much time I have to prepare.
Okay.
If it's a living, breathing target and I have 2 hours, then I can take a non-magical form where it's just my body at that point. Or I can use magic, in which case I need to cast it again once every hour. Which shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. Why don't you transform into a Kua-Toa right now, so that when we sneak up, if we do happen to get caught, you can go forward to charade as a Kua-Toa and trick the one that we're trying to assassinate. And then we can hurry up, go and take him down, and then you can assume his form if he looks any different. I don't know. They all look the same to me. Yeah, so you could take his form, so when you blow the horn to get them out there, it's even more convincing.
I like where this is going.
All right, well,
All
Sig,
right.
you got any?
Well, we'll have me here. I'll run out from the very, very edges of the menagerie and start blowing the horn, pursued by you two. As the denizens in question come to my help, I'll continue running towards the water for a little bit before turning back, and that's our ambush set.
But if they see us chasing you, they'll know we're there, so it won't be much of an ambush.
Fair point.
Yeah. Sig, do you have any ideas, or what do you think of the plan?
I don't know.
The waves crash against the rocks as you all deliberate.
Oh,
Yes.
also,
You all
they tried to
hear
surprise.
echoing over the waves some kind of shout of some kind. Maybe not a shout. Everybody roll perception checks for me in the Roll20 chat. And this is as the morning sun begins to... it seems like it's just about to start rising any second now. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Zen, that was a roar. You are not exactly sure what kind of creature emitted such a sound, but it was ominous, distorted, unnatural. It came from the direction of the village.
Of course it did.
Naturally.
All right, we gotta act fast. Or we could just leave and let it go. But I want revenge. Oh, I'm so torn. All right. All right. So let's make sneaking into the woods away from their base so they can't see us. Apparently their eyesight isn't that good because the chief didn't even see Sig as he snuck over here very chalantly. Like he didn't even try to hide. He just walked and then
Well, he walked around the building and left his field of vision.
Yeah, but they didn't see.
He saw me walk away.
And he saw him walk away. Yeah. You guys said he was gonna go scout, and he believed you.
I see. All right, so I guess let's start sneaking to like maybe we can head in around this way and then head here while covered up and have Shylv get ready so we can take out the guard. Hopefully there's a guard.
Okay. All right, so I am just about good on my end.
Okay.
I can ad-lib anything else that I may be missing. Okay, let's move everything into position.
All right.
These are the last place. I will put these in the last places you remember them being. This corpse is now pretty much as dead as it could possibly be. All right, so you are all back down along the coast. What is the plan, my friends? You all have permission to move your objects, as a reminder. How far away are you going to try to be from this place?
I guess close enough so that... Well, we want... First things first, we need to be hidden. We can't let them see us before we come.
Okay.
Otherwise, the entire plan is off.
Gotcha. So you will move along the tree line as you approach the location.
Yeah, as hidden as possible. Like,
okay.
as deep in as we can. That's how
I was
far
gonna say, how deep in do you want to go? There's about 20 feet of sort of lighter foliage until you... And it's, like, mostly hidden. But you have spots where you have to move out in the open. Or you can go deeper into the menagerie, or not the menagerie, but the forest itself. The menagerie is ahead of you about a mile.
I think the only thing we really have to worry about this area are if the monkeys attack us. But
I will remind you, they were just kind of regular sized. Well, I don't know if anybody knows the size of a monkey, but regular sized, relatively small monkeys. They just have 6 arms.
Yeah, so that's about the...
And you would all know, just from living where you've been living, they are docile enough to be kept in captivity when they're trained. So think about it like dogs. Yeah, they could cause problems, but, like, you know.
All right.
So
So
that kind of situation.
yeah. All right. So we'll go a little, like, enough so it's very easily obscured, so that it would so that they wouldn't be able to see us, because we want to be as discreet as possible.
If you move through the menagerie, or fuck, I keep saying that. If you move through the thick tree line, you will all have advantage on your stealth checks. But more things might be keeping an eye out for you. But creatures from the shoreline would probably not be able to see you.
All right. I'll leave this part up to Shylvie. Do you think this is safe enough, or should we go for a little more likely to be seen but less likely to be snuck up on? I'll leave this decision up to you, since you're a native.
She gestures at the flower and says, "We'll be fine.
All right.
So long as we're here for a short period of time."
Yeah, just the amount of time it takes to travel. Yeah, all right, solid. Okay. We'll go this way.
Everybody roll stealth with advantage for me. As you begin to you move along the tree line. Will you folks be leaving your horses at the camp that you created, or taking them with you?
The horses could give us away. We can try to put them in a fairly safe location.
I'll just say for convenience. Here, one sec. Copy. Paste.
Oh, thank God. Thank God for advantage. Oh, wow. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't matter.
So you could, like, tie the horses back, like, a few hundred feet back.
Wait, what? How the heck did that roll?
You rolled you rolled 2d10 at like it combined. That's all that happened.
Okay.
So that you got a nat 20. You're
I got a nat 20 on that.
you're a silent
Yeah, I'm
killer.
ignoring the third one.
Sig
Uh,
got a 22, and I got a 20.
Plenty. 1 sec, stink bug. I have to get rid of it. Bastards. 1 sec.
Hmm.
Oh my god, they're everywhere. Okay. So, as you all travel along the coast, or along the tree line, in the thicker trees, just barely being able to peek your heads out and keep an eye on the coastline as you travel along. Everybody made their stealth checks. Position yourselves where you would like to be distance-wise from the guard post and the village itself.
So let me see.
All right. Here's where I'll be, and you guys flank on either side.
All right. I guess I'm just moving this just to check distances for right now. So okay. So that's my there. So oh, I have to do this.
Oh, shit. Balls.
All right. Yeah, I'm well within range for optimal eldritch blasting.
Okay.
Nice.
Would I be able to see into the guard post from here?
Into the what?
Like, would I be able to see if there's anyone?
Yeah,
in
you
the
can
guard
see through the broken glass of the guard post window. And you look for a little bit. You don't see any particular movement or anything. You don't hear anything. Except sort of splashing from the village itself.
So it seems like they didn't replace the guard.
It's eerily... Besides that, it's eerily quiet.
Still have the horn. So I hand the horn to Shylv. And is Shylv already looking like a Kua-Toa?
Yep.
He's like...
And I am going to blow it and do it in the exact same way that they did to pass it myself off as a Kua-Toa.
Where would you like to be when you blow it?
Huh?
Where would you like to be when you blow it? You're currently in the woods. Will you be stepping out of the woods or doing it while still in the woods?
I will move.
Alright, go ahead.
I don't know why, but oh, right, I'm on the wrong thing. I move out of the woods a little bit to like here.
To there?
Yep.
Okay.
And I blow the horn.
As you begin to step
I'm
forward...
gonna activate my divine... Actually, maybe I should wait.
As you begin to raise the horn to your lips... 1 sec. Oh, nope, don't do that. I have to do it in the chat, to be fair. You hear a sort of splashing and a bit of a rumbling sort of noise from the area where that ritual had taken place before. And you go to raise the horn to your lips.
Yep.
And do you blow?
Yes.
All right.
Should I roll a performance? Should I roll performance or deception on that?
You take your pick. You're not mimicking a performance that you have seen, and I'll give you advantage. Did you take actor?
Yes.
I'll give you advantage because you're remembering the way that the person you're impersonating did it.
Yep. All right. And I have equal performance and deception, so +7. So 1d20 +7. Roll, and then roll again. All right. Yeah, I'll take the.
That's a 20.
I'll take the modded 20.
All right.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like you had heard him do it before. And you
Yeah.
wait.
Mm,
5 seconds. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. A minute passes. Nothing.
Do you think that whatever they made might have killed them? By
That
any
would
chance?
suck. That would suck. I wanted that scepter, and I wanted to beat him to death with it.
Well, we do need to consider the fact that they could all be dead by now.
If only we had explosives. Explosives.
Those are out of season and too far into the forest for us to get over.
Can we still see through that hole?
I was going to say Shylvie currently can sort of see... what's the distance on that? You can kind of see down through the hole. For about a 30-foot radius around this hut within the water is that black inky substance that you had seen leaking out of it originally back when you guys were starting to leave, except now it is much thicker. The water is almost pitch black in that area, as you can see the kind of clouds of this inky substance.
Siegfried's gonna move out to the edge of the water.
Okay, you can do so. Yep, you can clearly see the big ol' radius of inky badness. This house, this bed of seaweed, the seaweed itself appears to have taken on a even darker hue, and seems to be sort of the entrance over here-ish. Also seems to be emitting that black inky substance into the water as well.
Can you ping where you were talking about?
Sorry. If I was on the right tool, it would help. So, like, the entrance to this house that you had seen before. And Shylvie,
I don't see anything.
You don't see my pings?
No.
Because I'm on the wrong layer. One sec.
I saw it just then. If you were the red one.
I'm the black one.
Oh, I see.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was on the GM overlay layer for some reason. Anywho, yeah. So you guys are looking upon this scene. You've blown the horn. You didn't get any reaction.
How long does the potion of water breathing last?
How long does the spell water breathing one sec. Whoop! Let's not do it in this tab, silly me. Might last 8 hours, but let's find out. For 1 hour after drinking this potion.
Okay.
So 1 hour.
This is I don't know, guys. Like, we can go on the seaweed bed, but if it gets destroyed, me and Sig are in trouble. I could drink this potion now.
Siegfried's gonna start to leave.
Oh, I see.
Down
Don't
here.
leave yet. We could be in even more trouble, and we don't want to cause any more.
To be clear, they tried to scry us last night. It failed, because they tried to scry me and it failed. But it seems like even though they quote unquote let us go, they're still trying to take us out. And whatever it is they summoned might come after us. Well, they failed the scry, so that it might not be able to. But I just wish we can get a better view. But we can't go on this kelp pathway. It's
Total
too
inky
risky.
darkness in the water all around this.
Oh
So,
wait,
yeah,
wait.
you can't see it
I have an idea.
at all.
I can cast light on arrows and shoot the arrow in the area to see if it helps light it up at all.
Interesting.
Oh, that's actually really clever.
Thank
That
you.
way we can at least
I don't think
test
that's
if
gonna
it's
work,
magical or
though.
non-magical darkness.
Hey man, it's
Because it's not because it's like dark outside. It's because of the substance is dark.
well, it might give us a view of what's inside, even if it's only for a moment.
Uh-huh.
So, I guess I'll do that.
An interesting idea.
All right,
So, you knock an arrow. Will you be launching it up and arcing it down, or shooting it straight into the water?
First things first. I wanna, in case something crazy happens. Shylv, you might want to back up too. Actually, I think normal sight is supposed to be like 100 feet. Is that what it is?
100, 120.
Okay, so let me this. Oh, that's got plenty of space.
Yeah, you can see the top of this, from which you do still see the water that kind of flows under the surface and through the entrance through the seaweed. You still do see that black substance bubble up every so often.
All right, so I'm going to cast light.
It's a very light substance as you all see it, and it seems to have some kind of strange buoyancy to it as well,
Right.
but it's not floating to the top. It's almost like swirling in the general area around it.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel better.
It reminds you a little bit of the spell that the Kua-Toa had cast.
The one with the spirit guardian.
Spirit guardians. It reminds you of the spirit guardians almost, the little serpents swimming around, except this is much inkier, much less of a form. Like they don't have a coalesced form. It's more like just this inky substance.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Let me roll to hit.
Where are you aiming?
Well, apparently the main thing of the ceremony was happening like here, so I'll aim for like right in front, like this spot or this spot.
Okay, and you're trying to shoot it up and then down through the seaweed?
Uh,
The entrance is right here, so if you aim for that, you would get it into the first floor of the building.
yeah, but we need to see inside, so I guess I'd have
There
to
was
do
an
it
entrance
in that.
on the side here that Shylvie was able to get through, which is the same thing as a
Where's the hole that we put in it?
The holes are the size of arrows and like little like 5-inch radius balls of space from Eldritch Blast. So you can see a little bit. You would be able to see a little bit through parts of this side and into the first floor from the top if you were directly above it. But from this distance, you really can't make out anything through the holes you made. And looking through the entrance, if you had attempted to see through the entrance here, it is mostly covered in that inky black substance that swirls around the area.
All right. Well then, are you willing to use Halo to cut those ropes from a little bit closer up?
Let's see, Halo. Oh, I think Halo can go 50 feet. How far is this from?
Yeah, if you have a sword, you could probably just cut through the building itself. It is composed of compacted woven seaweed.
All right, so let me just double check
theory.
Halo's movement. Halo can move 50 feet. All right, so okay, all right, Halo. So this is what we need you to do. We need you to fly up to this area here. Oh, my ping. Yeah, I had the click thing on, and
Mhm.
cut a hole into that so that we can have a better opening for me to shoot my arrow. As soon as
Underwater? Water?
no above, do not go
Above.
underwater. Never go underwater. Underwater is where
Okay.
the fish people live. We don't like those.
Got it. Got it.
Shylvie looks at you offended.
No. You're a person that is fish-like. You're different. Those are fish people. Those are fish that are people-like. Different.
She raises an eyebrow.
I've been attacked by too many of these things. Leave me be. All right. All right. So I'll have Halo first. Go over here,
So I should
and
probably-
then have
Floating
Halo.
above the water and everything, I assume.
Yep, because she can fly.
Okay.
And then you half her movement. Oh, and I tell Halo as soon as you cut the hole in, immediately fly back.
Okay.
So, and then have Halo use half their movement to get here, I guess.
And remember, the main structure is all underwater.
Yeah, I
The
know. I just
mats
want a
of sea-
hole.
Okay.
There's no way in hell I'm letting Halo even touch the water.
Okay. Halo is
Uh,
just like, so don't touch the water, but it's like floating on top of the water. Do I just kind of make a square, make like a door, sort of?
Just hack a nice sized hole in it so we can see through.
Okay. Go ahead and just make an attack roll for them.
That's the...
You can touch the water a little bit as a treat.
22. So they are able to accomplish this feat with making almost no contact with the water. As you see them sort of spin around and then slice, and then spin around and slice, and then twirl the other direction and slice a big chunk out of this section of the...
Now come back quickly. Come back, please.
And the seaweed loosens and begins to sort of drift out a little bit and away from the structure. You have made a hole in the top of the building, from which the black substance then begins to ooze out. And
is there anything stopping Halo from coming back?
Nope. Halo
Alright, cool.
returns back to you.
My fears. I can't lose Halo. Halo's all I have, guys.
Now, from this perspective, you do have a better... You, theoretically, would have a better view into the first floor of the structure if there was not a black inky substance suffusing the water. Suffusing?
Alright.
Suffusing.
Alright, well, worth a shot.
Suffusing.
Quite
Well,
literally. Quite
Guess
literally.
that it's time to pull out another spell.
Alright, so I'm going to use light on my arrow.
It shines true.
And then I'm going to fire it into that hole. And everyone keep your eyes peeled. See if you see anything of note.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Make an attack roll.
you might be stuck. Dirty 20.
Very, very nice. You fire it up and over the walkway, down into the hole that you've just created. It shoops into the water. And as it does so, you hear that, Shylvie, you notice that rumbling that you heard when you first entered within 60 feet of the building. And you, Zen, sorry, whoops, haha. You hear that a lesser version of that rumbling sort of cry that you heard earlier.
Guys,
20.
Monster.
Also, yeah. There is a light glow coming that you can see between the little bits of ink that, like, it's like a, with like a lava lamp effect. You can only see the light when the ink is not in front of it, and it sort of, like, comes out as little streams of light from within this inky blackness that it cannot penetrate. But yeah.
Guys, I think whatever it is they summons in there,
You
because...
hear a sort of... And the building itself begins to sway ever so slightly. And you see the second floor sort of bulge outwards. Or well, I mean, you would. You see the top segment stretch ever so slightly as it appears to be the building is stretching outwards ever so slightly.
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Oh, also, I'm going to cast Control Water to start moving the black ink out
That
by
100
creating a current of
a
15.
current. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things you can do with Control.
That is true. Let me just see what I wrote here. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Yes, more eyesight, more see. Uh, did the stream thing work?
Sorry. Explain to me exactly what just happened. Did you fire the arrow again and Shylvie cast the control water to...
I was gonna let Shylvie go first since I shot the arrow last time.
Okay, so Shylvie, are you controlling the current to push away the inky darkness?
Yeah, I'm pulling the inky darkness out of the building by circulating the water in.
You are pulling it out of the building by circulating it. The water rapidly exits the building. You sort of kind of, water bend, as it were, the water out and begin to pull and pull and pull. The control water lasts for a while, right?
Yep, and
Yeah.
it's a cantrip.
So you... Oh, so it's only like a 5-foot square, right?
Yeah, I'm controlling a 5-foot square at the entrance.
Okay, got it. So you're
And
just
pulling
making the
stuff.
current flow
Pulling.
outwards from the entrance that
Yeah.
was created.
Yep.
The inky black substance of the water is pushed. As you push it outwards, and here, let me ruler map. Okay, can you see my thing? As you push it kind of outwards away in this general direction,
Yep.
more seems to be pulled out from within the building. Even more now than there was before. It doesn't seem to exit the 30-foot radius around the house, though. Like, it seems to be getting pulled out and then sort of almost hits a wall and is sucked up into the current that is surrounding the house. It is a very unnatural effect. You
Alright,
notice this.
What do you guys think? Do you think this is... What do you think we could do anything? Apparently these guys can do some crazy ass shit, and if they had a whole ceremony where they offered up the lives of the whole village.
Has anyone taken any other actions in the next 6 seconds? Or did you all begin to deliberate?
I mean, I guess I could shoot one more arrow and then I'll start asking, because why not? I said I was going to do it anyway.
Okay. 13. You, from that distance, you hit the roof of the building, and it does go through the roof on account of it being made of seaweed. Not quite where you expected it to be before. But you hear that roar from earlier. Muted from being beneath the water, but you hear it distinctly.
So it's in underwater.
Everybody roll
now.
initiative.
God fucking damn it! I was about to run.
Oh boy. It is time, gentlemen.
Don't worry, we're still willing to get low at any point. I was gonna eat the twig thing to increase my initiative, but combat wasn't apparent, so I forgot. I was planning to have this whole thing set up where we sneak up so I could set up everything beforehand, and nothing ever goes according to plan.
Naturally.
Don't worry about it.
Alright, let me go ahead and... I would use Roll20's thing, but Roll20 has been so mean to me today that I'm just going
That's
to
like a centipede.
what I usually use.
Let's hope this thing ate them. That way we don't have to fight them and it. And then let's look for that staff, because it looks like it's worth money.
Blasting through the top of the building is a large, about 4-foot diameter sea serpent composed of bones, just oodles and oodles of bones, all interwoven and locked together in this inky black tar-like substance.
That's pretty neat.
Jagged points of onyx seem to jut out from the creature itself, poking through some bones, some skulls affixed to the end of these terrible black spikes. The skull of the creature seems to be sort of a molded form, these terrible jaws, the teeth of which just formed from sharpened femurs and bones, and you'd see no lights within its 2 large eye sockets that are pocked by, or that are followed by 2 more sets of smaller eye sockets directly behind it, or at least where there would be eyes if it was not a large, strangely formed skull. Its head rises about 10 feet out of the water as it has just no problem shot its head up through the water and is now staring with intent, as much intent as there can be in an eyeless face in your direction.
Wait, why does it say I rolled twice for initiative? I only rolled...
I need to write everybody's initiative in. Okay, so Siegfried, how much did you get?
2.
I got an 11, I guess. I thought I got a 12, but apparently it rolled twice, so I got an 11.
Zen, 11. Shylvie got a 14.
We should get away from the water.
And the creature...
Get a 0.
Man, my creatures always roll shit.
Oh, really? Your creatures roll shit?
I'm sorry, for initiative. Not for anything else, though, ever. I think
Fair
that's
enough.
a 4 with its stats, right? Yeah, that's a 4. What is it? What did I call it again? Yeah.
Bone serpent? The femur. It's just the femur.
That is a 4. Okay, so... and then I have to roll one more initiative, actually, that I forgot about. Poor thing. Poor guy. Okay. Where is his stat block? There it is. That would be a 4. I think that is before Siegfried, though, because it's... I'm sorry, before the bone serpent. Okay. Got it. All right, top of the initiative order. Shylvie, you see 10 feet up this thick mass of bones and darkness. This inky substance dripping out of every bit of its forms and dripping off the tips of these onyx spikes that seem to be jutting from its form. Its maw hangs ever so slightly open as it just huffs and gazes at you with those empty eye sockets.
And blows its own house down.
Shylvie,
All right.
you are first.
Shylvie is going to hold their action for an Eldritch Blast.
What trigger?
Shows aggression.
Oh, this thing's
Sure.
this thing's an
Yep.
undead beast. It's automatically aggressive. It's been roaring
We
all
don't
night.
entirely know that.
It looks like
Listen.
something off the front of a metal album cover, as a side
Are
note.
you kidding? That thing. That. You think that
We're
is not
taking
aggressive?
precautions in case we can get out of this without a fight.
You're the one that wanted to fight. But okay.
Correct.
Just out of curiosity,
But
Bardic
seeing that it's a
Inspiration.
different entity, they may have different actions.
Bardic Inspiration does not continue over the course of
A long
night,
rest,
right?
no.
No, it goes
It
away
does
quickly.
not.
Got it.
But I can Bardic Inspiration somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah, I asked the creature in Aquan Are you friend or foe? And bardic
Friend or
inspiration.
foe?
Are you friend or foe?
Okay.
And I also bardic inspiration. And I bardic inspiration. Siegfried.
That guy.
Yeah, Siegfried.
You might want to back into the woods just in case. Get a little more distance.
Yeah, sure. I'll use my move to step behind the other members of the party.
Okay. You step
Boop,
behind the
boop,
other members of the
boop,
party, and you all, yeah.
There we go.
And you shout out towards the creature, friend or foe? It's a bit of a distance,
Are
so you do have to raise your voice
Are you foe?
to shout it out.
Are
do
you
so.
friend or are you foe?
Go ahead and roll insight for me.
Alrighty then.
As this
Alright,
creature
let's-
does not
Let me
have,
just
cannot
check
make.
my insight.
Say again.
Ooh, just checking my insight mod.
Okay.
Modded 20.
Diggity fucking damn. The creature seems to acknowledge the Aquan language coming out of your mouth that you shout at it, and it sort of sways back and forth ever so slightly. It appears to be angry, upset, grumpy, one might even say.
Now, why would that be?
But the creature does appear to be ever so slightly, as much as a evil-looking, metal as fuck, dripping, spiked bone serpent can look. It does seem a little groggy. Shylvie, you notice, as if it's not like moving at its full capacity.
Wow, that's even more terrifying.
Shylvie, is that the end of your? Oh, who did you inspire?
Huh?
Siegfried. All right, Siegfried, you are inspired.
Quick question. Now, we asked about the bardic inspiration. Well, you asked about how long the bardic inspiration lasts. How long does DM inspiration last?
Forever.
Oh, so me and Siegfried still have those D8s? Nice. That in mind.
Actually, given the circumstances that you all survived, sure, fuck it. You know what? I said it, so technically, yeah. Inspiration is a thing. Did I give one to Siegfried?
You gave one to both of us because we both got fucked over by the scions because they moved further than they were supposed to be able to.
Yes, that is why I gave it to you. So yes, you still do have that. Let me go ahead and acknowledge that. I appreciate you remembering such a thing.
I never forget.
Yeah. Yeah. I said it, so it exists.
All right, cool.
I would not go back on such a word.
So we got that. So it's my turn now?
It is Zen's turn, yes. Zen, you are up, my friend.
All right. So it hasn't shown any aggression towards us right now, but I see that as nothing but an evil, obviously evil thing. Because it's made of the bones of the village that they slaughtered.
And it's got big old black spikes, and it's dripping
Yeah.
this inky dark substance from it, yeah.
Yeah.
One would say that this is, evil chic. Evil style.
Now, point out one thing. It's apparently sleepy and groggy. So,
Shylvie has gathered this, yes.
So, it might not, if we attack it now... Wait, if Shylvie used sleep, would it just fall asleep? Because it's already
That's
sleepy?
not how it works.
No comment.
Damn.
That is absolutely not how it works. It
I know, but...
relies on hit points and nothing else.
Yeah, but it was sleepy already, so I thought maybe.
Shylvie,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would consider the circumstances of this. You, as Zen says this out loud, you got a strange feeling in the back of your head. And that's all. And from the 20 insight check that you made earlier, something clicks in your head. And that's all I'm going to say.
That the sleep might actually work?
You get a strange feeling of hope.
Alright, then I won't attack it, because...
Zen, you do not get this feeling. You just have this theory.
Oh, I see. Well, I was gonna end up doing the same thing either way. I'm going to Hunter's Mark the creepy thing.
Okay.
And I'm going...
Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my action to enter my divine soul form.
You get some wings.
Okay, and how far am I from this guy? Quite far. I'll dip into the woods a bit too, and just wait and see what happens. Just the tiniest bit to give me a little bit of cover.
Okay.
Potentially, if this thing tries to murder. And yeah, so I use my action and my bonus action, my movement. Can I have Halo? Is going to ready an action to attack if an enemy enters range.
Okay.
Like,
yep. Sounds
yeah. Because that's all I can have Halo do right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. And that's my turn. And Halo's.
Okay. All right. Next up in the turn order is you see the bottom half, or something lower down on the creature seems to sway back and forth, which doesn't seem to move the top half, like the skull segment of the creature, which seems to almost move. If you've ever held a chicken and had the chicken move, and like it always tries to keep its head in the same place, it's like that. And that's all you notice. Next up, the thing dives back down into the home. Or no, actually, it would just pull itself out and slither into the water, moving 5 feet into the water, and then just haul itself into the water. It is in the water from here, but it is not done pulling the rest of its body out from here. Its body appears to be 25 to 30 feet long.
I see.
But this is the main segment of it. And it sort of lowers itself mostly into the water, keeping its head about 5 feet above the water, so it can still kind of see you guys off in the distance. You see as its midsection is pulled along here, a staff sticking out of the middle of the creature.
Is that the staff?
A finny hand waving angrily and aggressively, trying to slap at the staff or grab it or get it out. You hear, actually, because it's above water now, you hear a horrible gurgling, the cries of a creature that is... Its airways may have been pierced by several different sharp pieces of bone and or stone of some sort, but it is still alive and attempting to retaliate somehow.
His god has betrayed him.
Yeah, and the staff is sort of stuck just ever so slightly out. The serpent head, the head of the serpent of the staff, slightly sticking out of the back of this creature. The lightning ever so gently crackling around it. Just the staff itself, not the creature.
I whispered to Shylvie, do you think that's what's keeping it together? We might be able to yank it out.
Either that or it's causing it pain. One of the two.
Oh no, the one that's in pain is the asshole who I hope his lung is pierced.
Is sort of the noise that you're hearing coming from it. The
My
creature
smile
itself is
should be
now
wider.
making a low rumbling noise.
I could try to fly over there and yank it out and then peace out if it gets.
That would be dangerous.
It would be dangerous. But if that's what wait, so does
You see, pardon me, before you ask this question, you see as the creature's head is moving around, you see the inky substance maintaining a 30-foot radius around it, but when it reaches shore, it stops. Except around the creature's head, the air appears to be sort of getting these little coalescing drips that then fall down once they condensate into the water in about a 10-foot radius around its head. So 10-foot radius in the air, 30-foot radius in the water of this black substance. It's less concentrated in the air. Sorry, now ask your question.
does the staff the staff is in it, but is the staff appear to be like you said it's crackling currently?
Yeah, with electricity.
Okay. Does it seem to be a part of the thing? Or
It is formed into the creature, you are almost positive.
And
in a similar way to the arm sticking out of the creature, whatever's left of the Kua-Toa priest appears to be formed into the inner section of the creature.
I was ready to beat the shit out of him. Okay, so is it the wood part that's fused in, or is the onyx part fused in too?
It is a whole staff. The staff is one whole item.
Oh, I thought it was the onyx part was like on top, and it was like
No, it's the entire length of the 3.5-foot length of the staff. It's a wooden staff that's like 3.4 feet, and then the onyx is a 3.5-foot long ornament encircles the entire wooden staff and uses it as a base as a decoration for the staff or the main artistic aspect of the staff. Although the artistry is rather crude, as you had observed before.
I'm not gonna be able to pull that out, so that plan is nixed. All right.
I mean, if you decide as such, sure, yeah. Okay. Next up in the turn order, Zen, you are all set. Halo is holding his thing. Boop, the serpent has done its thing. Siegfried, you are up. It is approaching the shoreline. Or approaching you all, ever so slowly.
Gonna ready the attack action.
Okay. What is the trigger?
When the enemy's within range.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up in the turn order is Shylvie. Shylvie, you're up. This creature slowly...
Shylvie calls out to it and tries to calm it down. In Aquan again, Shylvie says, "You're tired, you're most likely hungry, and you're frustrated that we woke you up, I'd assume. I'm sorry for that."
Okay.
Just
go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
Yeah.
Straight persuasion.
22.
That is beautiful. The growling emitting from the head, the low growl, seems to stop for a moment. The open hanging jaw seems to close ever so slightly. It still seems intent on moving in your direction, but that noise has ceased. The inky darkness around it still congeals and still... It seems that it may be a natural process that is continuing to simply emanate out from around the creature. So, is that going to be your turn? Did you move, by the way? Closer or?
I moved a teeny tiny bit. I'm gonna move a teeny tiny bit
Yeah,
closer
move
as well.
wherever you were gonna move.
Yep, and I'm also going to, I'm also going to inspire.
Inspire Zen?
Yeah, inspire Zen.
Alright, you do so. Shylvie is leading a diplomatic mission against this metal album cover. And it seems to be reacting in various ways. Zen, you are up.
Okay. So it seems to be okay. Would I So I don't want to attack it if there's a way to get through this without combat. I don't want to ruin what Shylvie has set up. So can I glean anything from it? Like, can I
Interesting.
try to?
What kind of check would you like to make? What kind of information would you like to attempt to gather from observing this creature?
Um.
Do you need me to describe it again?
So it's a spiky bone snake thing that's probably like 30 feet long.
Uh-huh.
With it the
About 4 foot diameter.
It's composed of the sacrifice bones as well as the Kua-Toas themselves.
You do see some other skulls that do bear more of a resemblance to the fishy Kua-Toa.
Okay, so can I try to glean a potentially a weakness, or if in fact the staff that we saw before does in fact hold great meaning in keeping this thing together, and if removing it would like take this thing out? So I'm trying to find a weak point.
Based on what you just said, go ahead and make a religion or arcana check for me.
Okay, I'll do Arcana.
Okay.
That was that.
Oh.
I got a 21.
Turn the gain down.
I got a dirty 20. Well, it's 21.
Could you guys not yell? Okay, so anyways, sorry. What did we roll?
I got a 21 for my Arcana check.
21. For your Arcana check.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Alright. So this staff itself, for our Arcana aspect of this, this appears to be a very magical creature, constructed of bones, stones, and just straight up some kind of dark magical substance. The staff itself appears to be actively in use currently, as you saw from before, that whenever the Kua-Toa cast a spell or utilized the staff for attacking, the electrical sparks, began to spark out, as opposed to its resting state where you can't see any sparks jolting off of it. In its current state, it appears to constantly be active. You cannot glean from what you see much additional detail than that. The staff appears to be, from now that you can see where it more is on the creature, and that you've had a moment to sort of observe, it looks like it theoretically could be removed from the creature itself, although this might harm the creature, as it does appear to be partially... the staff itself appears to be almost completely intact. The magical item of the staff does appear to all be in one piece. As you know, magical items are more difficult to destroy. And what else for Arcana? And then the same thing as I said before, the staff itself, theoretically might cause have a negative effect to somebody to grab it due to its constantly active nature. Probably not as bad as getting hit with it, but still it does appear to constantly be emitting an electrical pulse. Actually, yeah, that's a good bit of information. I'd say that with your 22, that'll be as much as I can give you, besides what you see of the 10-foot radius of the inky substance congealing in the air and falling into the water, and in the water it spreads out to 30 feet around the creature.
Alright, so I'm going to use my bonus action to chug the potion of water breathing.
You do so.
And I'm going to tell the others, okay, so I tell him what you just read out, and I'm like, I think if I can pull that thing out, it might have some effect. I'll wait until it shows overt aggression towards us to try anything like that. But I can fly right now, so I can fly above it and try to yank it out, whatever that takes. And Halo can support me in the air. So we'll handle that if it comes to that, and we'll try to escape through the air. If anything else, and I end up getting knocked in the water, at least I won't have to deal with not being able to breathe because of this potion. I'm going to move a little bit closer.
Okay, your wings are out.
Yes, my wings are out. I'm going to move closer. Let me see exactly how far. So I just moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I guess I'll just move like up against this thing. So I still have cover. So I'm sort of in this plant layer here. Still got a little bit of cover. So potentially
it's various trees and short bushes, shrubbery.
So I'll keep low there.
Some vines.
And let's see how far exactly I am from it. And that's gonna be my turn. If it tries to
actually, how far from it are you? Okay, yeah, the creature's head swings in your direction as you approach it.
I see. I just did myself, guys. All right, so we know this. I'm in trouble. But yeah. Okay, so it's 40 feet away.
It swung towards Siegfried originally, and now it swings in your direction as you're slightly closer.
I see, and I'll have Halo do the same thing as before. If any creature gets within melee range, Halo will attack.
Gotcha.
Any creature that shows overt aggression.
Got it. All right. Next up, the arm, the fleshy arm that still seems to remain of this. What you conclude based on the proximity to the staff is the archpriest continues to slap up at the staff. They actually nick it with their fingers for a minute, and a little bolt of electricity seems to arc off of it into the nearby water. As the priest struggles, the section of the creature that the priest is in moves and sways with the kind of lashing, almost as if the priest is trapped inside of the creature and is pushing against it, but the creature itself seems unfazed. The creature, now in the water mostly, moves.
Oh no.
As it slips into the water, it appears to move much faster than when it had been gliding above. And it slips up adjacent to the guard post, and it rests about 7 feet of its head, of its first segment with its head up, and it can now actually see all of you. As it then seems to swing its head back and forth between all of you, sort of waiting, and it appears to be listening, waiting for something. It rests its body on the seaweed section and seems to be explicitly avoiding the land. I should probably...
It's Siegfried's turn. Oh god.
Siegfried, you're up.
Do the same thing. And ready the action.
Okay, ready the attack action. You sit. Is this your great axe you're holding?
Yeah.
You sit your great axe that you had just cleaned last night from the sticky substance of the Kua-Toa's shield that you had smacked it into yesterday. All nice and gleaming and ready for blood, or whatever the hell this thing has in it. You sit ready and able. Your crab is dead still on your shoulder, and even the salamander appears to not be as active as it usually is. They are both basically frozen in fear right now. Shylvie, you're up.
Shylvie begins to get a little bit nervous too, but continues talking to it in Aquan, asking it a small talk question, actually. What is your name? Can you talk?
Okay. Go ahead and roll persuasion one more time.
Alrighty then. Nine.
Alright. It acknowledges, its head finally, it seems satisfied as its head locks onto Shylvie, its empty eye sockets sort of slowly dripping that dark substance. You guys continue to see the air around the creature gets these little droplets of the black substance that slowly seem to congeal and then drip down in the 10-foot radius around it. The aspects of it in the water still suffusing the water around it, but as you get onto the land, the droplets slowly hit the ground and seem to almost stick to the ground, but then like slowly seem to dissipate almost away into smoke as they drip onto the ground. Shylvie, is that the end of your turn?
I will continue to maintain my held Eldritch Blast. And Shylvie will move back a little bit.
I hate to say it, but doesn't it take an action to hold? Or no, you use your reaction to hold the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're using your reaction to continue holding the Eldritch Blast, if it expresses aggression.
Yep.
And that
away,
aggression in this case would be making an attack against a creature, I assume, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, Zen, you're up. The creature's really close to you. You can see now all the various as you get closer to the front of the creature and along its neckline, you see all the skulls of all these Triton and Kua-Toa, and all of the skulls seem to be fixated near the front of the creature. As you see its head rise up 7 feet. And its eyes are, as Shylvie moved back, its eyes, or, its head, its empty skull, empty in that it's filled with that black inky substance, is fixated on Shylvie.
Guys, it's like a dinosaur. You only see it's based off movement. If we just stand still, we'll be fine. I'm just kidding. Do not stand still. All right, let me see. So I'm about, how far am I from this death monster thing? I'm 20 feet from it.
20 feet. You see the droplets dripping onto the ground just a little ways in front of you. And then kind of, it's like the droplets are dripping and then sort of fading away.
Okay. God, this is very intimidating. I hope he knows. He's very intimidating. All right. I wish I had Kevin right now. My +1 horse. I guess I will. If I move here, is this? So where's this? Is this where?
For all intents and purposes, we'll say as far as this creature taking up 6 squares, it's in this square. Why can't I ping? There we go. It is in this front square. If we're looking at the creature.
And the staff, where would it be?
In the upper segment of the creature, or whatever square the creature is facing. It is in the opposite square of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's as far away from the head of the creature as possible in the squares that it maintains control over. So here. Right next to the Kua-Toa priest. It's essentially where the Kua-Toa priest is, actually.
Okay, so I will... I'm going to... Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay, I will move so that I'm like cover though. So a quick question: does this actually constitute cover, as in defense-wise, or is it only visual cover?
It is a series of trees and shrubbery that could provide cover if you choose to take cover in them. Full cover if you decide to hide behind a tree.
Let's see. I do here to here. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take cover behind the here. I'm gonna take cover behind here. Okay, we'll do the same. And I'm going to ready. I'm gonna pull on my bow for now. If anything else, I'll just drop it later, and I'll just ready an action if it tries to attack one of us. Then I'll release an arrow.
Okay,
At
give me one sec.
Specifically at the if the serpent attacks or anything, I'm gonna attack the priest's hand. I'm gonna shoot there. That's specifically where I'm gonna fire.
Give me a sec.
Alright.
Okay, that's good.
How tall is this hut anyway? Or shack, or whatever you want to call it.
About 8-9 feet tall.
Okay, so I'm completely behind it. Sweet. All right, and Halo, same thing as before. If something comes within melee range that's overtly trying to attack it.
Got it. Okay. Right. And you did not pass within 10 feet of the creature, I can safely assume.
No way in hell.
Yeah, cool. So are you exiting visual range of the creature's head?
I guess. If it can't see, like if I'm tucked behind here, yeah, I guess.
Okay, got it. So I will consider that. All right. Next up, did you say you were firing?
No, I'm readying an act. If it attacks, if it's about to attack someone, I'm going to fire specifically at the area, around the
Kua-Toa.
the Kua-Toa and the staff. So
Noted. Okay. Next up in the turn order, Zen, you just took your turn. The Kua-Toa, you hear a garbling that is quieted by the half of that creature being slightly underwater now at this point. But you hear the of the Kua-Toa Archpriest. You see the staff ever so slightly underwater glow with that electric field and let out little sparks that seem to dissipate slightly into the water. Not very far. Just small little electric currents. And now it's the serpent's turn. The serpent can still detect Shylvie, but seems to have ever so slightly lost its attention. It begins to move in the direction of the creature nearest to it, which would be 10 feet. It slithers up onto the seaweed, and almost tentatively, as if it doesn't want to, but it's going to anyways, it seems to slither ever so slightly onto land.
Oh, it's not supposed to be coming on land. Oh God, no!
You see, as it raises itself out of the water, the sort of musculature, it doesn't have musculature, but the bones seem to move ever so slightly, almost like a million centipede legs sort of dragging this body, this heavy, thick form, long form onto land and sort of dig into the dirt. The spikes seem to almost shift underneath it in order to give it some traction with the ground, and its entire lower half undulates to pull it forward. It's a very unnerving sight to see this thing move outside of the water. but it seems almost unnatural for it, as if it's not used to it. As its head swings around in the direction of Zen.
Fuck me.
No, are you
I
within 10
hate
feet of it?
fish monsters.
Zen, you feel the droplets begin to slowly drip, drip, drip onto your head in a higher and higher consistency. And mainly around your eyes, it just seems to be sticking and pooling. You have to kind of wipe it out of your eyes like every couple seconds to just like focus. And it seems like it may be having some effect on you, but you're not quite sure. Anyways, next up in the turn order is...
I didn't think it could come on land.
Siegfried.
Damn.
Siegfried, you're up. Has it turning its head and heading in the direction of Zen triggered any abilities for anybody?
Mm-mm.
Its mouth is still closed, and it seems to not be
Guys,
growling at anything.
I think it's gonna try to eat me, guys. I'm just saying. That's
Anybody, Shylvie, you can see Zen from this perspective. He looks like he is fucking quite nervous right now. Even the sword is shaking so slightly.
Yay.
Guys, I think I don't think this is good.
Can
Siegfried, you're up.
Siegfried like sense any hostility from it?
Go ahead and roll an insight check, I guess. This is kind of a this creature doesn't have, from what Shylvie saw earlier,
It doesn't seem to have a mind.
it doesn't seem to have emotions per se.
Is it going to eat me?
Well, we're gonna find out.
You
That's
got
a
it.
20 from Siegfried. Siegfried, the creature seems more groggy and inquisitive rather than openly aggressive. Oh, wait, Zen, you're within 10 feet of it. I'm sorry, I forgot the important thing. Siegfried, you see it dip its head in Zen's direction, and nobody else hears this. Siegfried, Shylvie, you do not hear this. Zen, you hear something in your mind. Words. Garbled,
Hi.
almost indescribable in their texture.
Oh,
You have
that's
no
cool.
fucking clue what this thing is trying to communicate to you. You just hear these voices in your head. Or this singular, deep voice in your head. What languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, and Dwarf.
You have no idea what this thing is saying.
That's normal. Halo talks to me in my head all the time.
Halo acknowledges this, and they actually also happen to be... Are they kind of within your space, or are they back a little bit?
They're in the...
They're in the square where they said they are?
Yeah, they're 5 foot behind me.
Okay, so they can't hear it. They have no idea.
Hey, Halo, you hear this shit? This shit wild. This shit kind of bumping.
No, what are you talking about?
It's
All right,
speaking.
next up, Siegfried. Have you
Tim.
done your thing yet? Yeah, I interrupted you, so sorry. Siegfried, you're up. You see Zen hear something and react and like look at his sword and say something and like, yeah, that's what you hear or see.
Siegfried's gonna shake his head no, and just start backing up as far as he can.
Okay.
I'm hearing shit, guys.
Are you acknowledging to the party that vocally at all, Zen?
Hey guys, I think it's communicating with me. I can't understand, and it feels gross.
Oh dear.
I don't like it. Siegfried's running away. I see.
I gotta go.
Siegfried runs away!
This is in your head. That's a no-go.
Again, Siegfried, you have no idea that just happened, to remind you.
I mean, I just said it out loud.
Hey,
Oh,
just
I'm
said it
sorry.
out loud.
Yes, I apologize.
Talking to me.
Say,
Yeah.
I think it wants to tell
Gotta
me
go.
about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's a Christian bone onyx ink serpent.
oh. But they worship the Norse gods.
Oh, no. Okay, Siegfried, is that going to be all you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Shylvie. Give me 1 sec. I have to turn on the fan. It's hot as heck in here.
Help me.
right, I'm back.
Quick question: would Zen have detected any sort of like hostility at all from the voices in his head?
It seemed
Like
inquisitive.
I see. So it's just curious about me. So we need a translator stone stat because I want to know if it's asking, oh, how do you do? How do you feel about the weather today, or how do you taste, motherfucker?
Shylvie, you're up.
First of all, I yelled to Zen, "Get back! That could really, really mess with your head."
Oh, really?
Or don't, if you like it.
Oh, I
If
don't.
that's your thing.
I had Celestials talking to me. Faye, I don't need this thing too.
All right. Well, you make your decision. Either way, Shylvie will approach a little bit again. Will approach again, talking in Aquit.
Okay. About 25 feet away?
Yep.
Okay. You do so.
Asking, that flesh bag trying to grab at that staff, are they an irritation to you at all?
Go ahead and roll.
Yep.
I'm
Roll
bothered
persuasion
by
for me. I have you keep rolling persuasion, but it's kind of because communicating with this creature is not easy. It appears like it's not very... you saw when you tried to talk to it just a moment ago in the previous round, it seemed like almost like it heard you, but it didn't understand the intent. So me having you roll persuasions is sort of to get your point across to it and to communicate.
Makes sense. 26.
What'd you ask again? It tells you its life story.
Yeah. Are you... Is there anything frustrating you right now, and anything that we could do to help with that?
It swings its head in Shylvie's general direction, and it sort of does the thing where it tilts its head that Siegfried and Shylvie had noticed before when it was communicating with Zen, but it seems to not reach you. You hear no words.
What do I hear?
Okay, that is how it reacts. And it sort of wiggles its lower segment that the priest is in. And that is how it responds.
The segment.
Sorry?
Oh, so it's in it. It seems to be indicating is frustrating it.
In response to your question, yes.
Very well then. It may be a little bit painful for me to remove it, but if you would like that, I would be willing to. I have a grudge against that flesh bag anyway.
It tilts its head in your direction in the same motion that it used towards Zen earlier, but you don't hear anything.
Yep.
Alright, next up in the turn order is top of the round. Or no, that was Shylvie. Zen, you are beginning your turn within 10 feet of the creature on land. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no, guys. Things aren't looking real good for Zen over here. He's hearing voices that he's not used to. He's having flashbacks of his childhood when his celestial mom and his fey mom would argue. Oh, it's awful. They wouldn't stop fighting, guys. Oh god, no. Oh wait. Inspiration. My bitch ass is using
You're using your inspiration?
Yeah, it's a D6, right?
Yeah.
For Shylvie's. So that's a 15.
And what is this for? An ability check? Or remind me... Oh, no, a saving throw. Yes, that's fine. Yes, you pass. The droplets that drip down onto your head, it seems to take on almost a rhythm. And you sort of, like...
Oh, so it wasn't...
You, like, stretch your muscles that seem to get weary, and you sort of... And you kind of shake your head and wave it off. You seem to be getting a little bit drowsy being near this thing.
Oh, this shit's trying to roofie me, guys. Hey, I say this out loud. I don't yell like that, but I say, "Oh, it's trying to roofie me, guys," or it's trying to sleep spell me, guys.
Mhm.
Whatever's the correct way.
Okay, so next up, or no, you're still doing your thing. So yeah, keep going. That was when you start your turn there. That happened.
All right.
So go ahead.
So, the way that Zen understood what just happened was that it's uncomfortable because of either the fishman or the staff, which makes sense because if it's constantly electrocuting it, I wouldn't be happy either. So I'm gonna fly up. I'm going to I'm gonna put my bow away. I do have my short swords on my side though, just in case. But I'm going to very amicably float over or fly over to that's the wrong thing.
That's fine. I see what you mean though. The
and-
segment with the Kua-Toa is now slightly out of the water, just on the edge of the water, so you sort of can reach on it and use it as foothold to do so. And you're flying just above the area. Its head, as you come that close to it, its head ever so slowly turns in your direction, and like the skull twists around in a way that it wouldn't be able to do if it was an organic creature to stare at you.
I smile.
Go ahead and roll a religion check for me.
That's a +1, I think. Did she? Oh, okay. She didn't do that. She didn't do number 2. Okay. That's 11.
This is definitely a serpent, and was probably what they were trying to summon. You don't fully understand what it is exactly, though, as you are so close to it.
I don't think any semblance of a roll could really give me an idea of what it is.
There was a DC.
So I'm going to grab the staff.
Okay. Take 3 points of lightning damage. As the arcing electricity sort of jolts into you as you grab it.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, sucks. And does this... I'm guessing it doesn't show any reaction at all, right?
The bones around it, and that seem to almost be clasping the staff in place, shudder reflexively, and the creature sort of opens its maw and starts making that low growling noise again.
I see.
Don't pull it up.
But guys, but I'm already, but
your hand is on the staff.
Well, you know what? It could just be because it's uncomfy. You know, it could just be because it's uncomfy. It's like, that hurt. Like it has a splinter, and it's the splinter. And when you touch the splinter hurts, right? So the only way to do it is to remove the splinter. I mean, come on, guys. It's
you
simple.
Hear a single word in that language that you don't understand. This one is slightly different, and it sounds more like what Shylvie's been saying. And it's a slow, low word that's like Waracruz.
Worse?
No, Waracruz, but said in a deep growling tone, straight into your head.
Can I try to see if there's any semblance of me that understood what that meant?
Maybe. Go ahead and make a history check for me. See if you recall Shylvie ever saying this word in Aquan.
Waracruz.
You have a disadvantage on this roll, unfortunately, due to the circumstances and the fact that this would be difficult information to recall. Or you know what? You don't have advantage. The DC is just really high.
Okay. Well, you said disadvantage before, but yeah, I got a 13 for that. Did I understand?
13? No.
I see. All right. So
you did hear the word pretty clearly though in Aquan.
Waracruz.
Shylvie, do you say this out loud so Shylvie can hear it?
I say Wada. Yeah, I say it out loud. I say Wada Cruz.
Shylvie, his accent is fucking terrible. You can barely understand it, but that word generally means wrong.
I see. So it's not a splinter. I see. All right.
Definitely don't pull
Shylvie
it out.
knows. Shylvie, do you tell him?
Definitely don't pull that out.
That is a fucking shame. All right, then should I just kill this guy?
Leave it alone until I can fully figure out exactly what needs to be done. This is a delicate situation.
All right. Well,
Literally delicate. If you pull that out, the thing might end up dying.
oh.
It might. It's just a theory of mine. Not entirely sure that it dying is actually necessary, or even if it is alive.
Okay. Then I guess I'll just stay. Should I? Well, I've already used. Have I used my action already?
I'd say if your action is anything involving the staff, you can take it. If anything else, I'd say probably no. Or like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Talking to Shylvie and asking about what a word means, I'd argue is probably an action.
All right. So then I'll
Unless you're pulling out the staff, which I would allow, or doing anything with it. Because that's, on hand.
Then I guess I'll back away. Like I'll get a little bit.
Okay.
Oh wait.
You let go of the staff and back away?
Yeah, I'll go
so you've
further
back. Moved from here to here, right?
Yeah, so I'll move like
20
another
feet.
10, like another 10 feet. Like so
Okay.
I'm behind. Like well, is this? That's 5 feet. So I guess I'll move like here.
Okay.
And Halo will. Halo will. So should we attack the fishman? I say
I'll figure that out in just a little bit.
All right, so Halo will fly.
Bit of telephone going on here.
And yeah, and then that'll be. And once again, Halo will hold action for overt aggression.
Okay, and you're flying above the water right now, right?
Yeah. Where would that 10 feet area be?
It extends out 10 feet from the 6 square icon of the creature. So any square that is within 10 feet of a square that the creature is in control of.
But I'm talking about the one that would hit me in the air, not the one in the water.
It's a radius, or it's a cube sort of. No, well, it would be a radius, but here.
So would it affect me right now?
You know what? Fuck it. Here, I keep having it snap to center. This is the center of the creature. No, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, I just don't want it to affect me in midair, so I fall in the water. That's all I want. I don't want it to affect me.
You're not within 10 feet. We're gonna go with what I said the first time, which is within 10 feet of the area it controls.
Okay, so yeah, then as long as I'm outside of that, I'm cool, and I'm gonna end my turn. And Halo's just going to attack if I'm attacked.
Okay, sounds good.
He's attacked. All right.
All right. Next up in the turn order is the arm continues to flail and grab for the staff. All right. It can't seem to get a hold of it. And the arm sort of seems to be dripping out this bluish blood as it writhes against all the bones and obsidian spikes. It sticks itself on an obsidian spike for a moment and recoils back. All right. Next up in the turn order is the serpent, which is going to move. Where does it want to go? Shylvie, you were able to communicate with it last turn, right?
Yep.
Alright, so it moves 10 feet towards you.
Alright. It is now within the radius, I believe.
No, you're just out. Yeah, you're just out. If you step forward at all, you'll be within 10 feet.
It seems like this might not actually be so bad to be in. Seeing
Well,
as
you don't know what it does yet.
Yeah. Well, when it got near him, they were able to communicate, and
That's true.
that seems like it might be pretty beneficial.
Okay. All right. Next
In
up in
this
the turn
current
order
situation.
is yeah, it like leans its head towards you, Shylvie, and you hear like a tiny little whisper that seems like it like just doesn't quite reach you. Siegfried, you're up. Siegfried.
Gonna ready the attack action.
Okay. Shylvie, you're tapping some stuff.
Huh? Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I kind of got inspired to draw this.
Oh no, fucking go for it. It like I said, looks like something off the front of a metal album cover. The head has the 3 eye slots with the one bigger eye slot. When you picture its mouth, picture it as more of a wide mouth as opposed to a straight. So it's got more of a square head instead of a triangle. You know what I mean? Like if you think if you look at certain snakes, that's how you know what I mean.
Yep.
Anyways, and then obviously the bones and the bones that poke into the ground and the obsidian spikes that usually come out between a foot and a foot and a half from the creature.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep.
Okay.
I've
So
got a
anyway.
general idea
Got it.
going on of what this thing looks like.
If you're drawing it, then fuck it, I don't mind the tapping. Okay. Siegfried, you are readying the attack action. Is that going to be all you do for the turn? Siegfried?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Shylvie, you are up.
All right. Shylvie will move right up to it,
You're directly in
and-
front of its head, which is sort of swinging about 5 feet up in the air. The head itself is about like 3 feet long and sort of this large mass of bone that now that you're very close to it, you can see the little creases where other skulls sort of seem to have been melded and shaped into this larger skull form of the creature. And now that you're close to it and have seen it move, the skull itself seems to almost be dragging the body behind it in like a strange way, and the body just seems to be reacting appropriately to the skull's movement.
All right.
The small black drips congeal, and as you sit before it,
No,
they
it's
drip onto you. Shylvie, your form is solid right now, correct?
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm in my ISO, but yes.
You are in your ISO form.
restricted
Now,
by
how
ISO?
exactly... What is the anatomy of an ISO? Do they absorb things that fall onto their skin?
Yes, they have to breathe through their skin when they're underwater.
Okay, noted. Are they
Oh, no.
are they like made mostly of water or mostly of organic goo?
They're mostly made of water.
Oh no.
Okay. Noted.
Shylvie's
The
gonna join
driplets
the dark
fall
side.
onto you and expand whenever they fall onto you.
That's bad.
And like the drips that fall onto you seem to exit you in larger quantities than they fell in. But they seem to just kind of drip through and pass through. You feel... Oh my gosh. You could really use a nap right now. Anyways. So,
But I can
Shylvie, that's...
communicate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just enter it for the first time
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
your
he
turn?
started.
Okay, wait.
Yes, that was the first time that I
That
entered that
starts their
area.
turn
Bless
within
you.
10 feet or enters it for the first time on a turn. Okay.
All right. Yep,
No. Oh, wait.
and-
I just wrote when... No, I just wrote when it starts its turn within 10 feet, so I'll just stick with that. So you enter the radius and begin to feel this drowsiness sort of... You know... Yeah, no.
Just stick with what you wrote,
I'll
bud.
stick with what I wrote, which is you have to start your turn in it for it to have an effect. Anywho, next up, or no, duh, not next. Edward, come on, don't skip Shylvie. Shylvie, what did you say to it?
I asked, what is, I ask it, do you feel living the comforts of a living being? And holds up their head to like pat them
Oh no.
on the nose.
Okay.
Oh,
Basically, they're trying to be comforting to a creature that they don't know can entirely be comforted.
Okay. Shylvie, make a religion check for me.
All right.
You're saying this in Aquan, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna check my religion real quick. All right, that's a very solid
As you
score.
make your roll, it responds.
9.
Okay.
Dang it. That's
You
frustrating.
don't recognize the thing that I was thinking of mentioning. This is clearly a serpent that they had attempted to summon, and it seems like it probably worked. Maybe not as intended, but it seemed to have worked to an extent. Your question was if it experiences the comforts of a living being?
Yeah.
It responds to this, to you telepathically in Aquan, and you just understand the words.
Yep.
I do not feel in that way normally. I am not here, but here. So loud. So much. Just want to sleep again.
Oh, it wants to die, guys.
It specifies the word. The Aquan word sleep is very, it does not, Shylvie, you would understand this based on the Aquan language. The words sleep and die, sleep is not as much of a metaphor as sink is a metaphor for die. So when it says that it would like to sleep, it is more explicitly referring to the action of resting. And this is just a language thing that it would have interpreted. Because, to be fair, the elemental languages are all more feeling than anything else, or, like, implications based on the elemental aspects of, you know, the world.
Yeah. She is going to ask another. The flesh bag in there. I know that I asked this before, but I couldn't quite hear. Do you want it out or no?
It must die, so I may rest. It won't die.
Understood. She turns her head to Zen and tells them to kill the flesh bag.
Well, okay. Zen nods his head and's like, you know, the whole flesh bag term, it's very, very outdated and just feels wrong, you know.
That's their word.
Yeah, that's our word.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, Shylvie, I'll say the 2 questions. You could probably sneak in one more. I'll say 3 questions is a full turn.
All right.
Now that you're actually communicating with it and not having to, you know, express things from a distance without being able to directly communicate.
Are an offshoot of the slumbering serpent?
Shylvie, as you're staring at its skull head face, you see little tiny yellow lights for just a moment, deep within the primary eye sockets. So deep that it looks like it's coming from the bottom of the sea. It's much deeper, and you can feel the distance. And it says, they call something is bothering my sleep. I can't rest when they all keep calling to me. If I awaken, all will feel my fury. This, I promise.
I will do what I can to help you sleep, she says in Aquan.
The lights flicker and seem to fade from the deep, deep distance. Deep underwater, deep
So
within
the
its eye
slumbering
sockets.
serpent wants to keep slumbering. But the fish people are waking it up. So rude.
All right. Well, we can. Then I guess that we can start with that Kua-Toa. That is probably one of the
Or at least his arm.
problems.
No, I'm stabbing his face. What the hell you mean?
The face is somewhere deep within the creature.
Stick your face out, bitch.
Next up is Zen, I believe.
Yeah, so I guess I have my swords out, and I'm like, oh man, I got the okay to stab the guy in the face and kill the fish man. Halo, you ready for some goddamn payback? So I'm going to make two
Hell
attacks.
yeah.
What is that clicking sound?
It's
Sorry, I'm
Shylvie is
drawing.
writing. Is that perchance? Can you put your writing pad farther away from your mic, or is it kind of the same setup?
Same, literal same machine.
Okay. Is there any chance you could slow your taps, perhaps? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I can
press
I can
down
hold
slower.
it off. Yeah, I can hold. I can hold
Yeah.
off on that.
It'll take slightly longer to draw, but you'll make less noise. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. No, I'm probably going to be working on this mostly tomorrow on just getting the sketch and general idea of what I think the thing looks like.
Sounds good.
So I'll make my. Also, I have to fly over here. So, you know, we're over something sembling of land. So feel better.
You can stand on it.
No, I'm gonna keep floating.
The water directly below it is full of this inky blackness, though.
It's real gross. All right, stabbing area of fishman trying to kill.
Yeah, you used Shylvie's inspiration, right?
Yeah, but I still have the DM inspiration.
You do.
But I'm holding on to that forever until I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel that.
Save those for death.
And this is
my boys.
And this is an attack roll against the arm.
Yeah, so that's my first one.
Okay, the arm smacks the sword away as you attempt to swipe at it.
You're a piece of shit, you know that?
Even when he's trapped inside a serpent monster, he's still a lucky motherfucker.
Let me just check some. Any way that
you would have advantage, actually, now that I think about it, because he is
prone?
Yeah, he is pretty prone, I'd say. Yeah, that hits. What do you want to do with his arm?
I want to stab him in the face. No, I was thinking, can I see his face?
Nah, you can just see the arm that is reaching out and attempting to grasp at the staff.
I guess I'll lop off his arm. I'm gonna lop off the hand.
Okay, roll damage.
Is it D6? It's 2d6.
This is. So technically, this is not the same creature.
Okay.
So Hunter's Mark wouldn't apply.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You'd have to recast it.
No, I have. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that. That's not worth it.
Yeah.
All right, so that is plus 4, so that's plus 10 altogether. So 1d6 plus 10. No, of course.
Yeah,
so
you lop that shit right off. Why do you have a plus 10?
I'm in my. It's a +1 weapon.
Oh, it's radiant.
Yeah, there's an additional 4 radiant damage.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
And I have a 5 for my dex.
Very good, and it's a +1 short sword.
Yeah. So.
Okay, yeah, you lop the hand right off, and it wiggles angrily. It
flips me off as it falls.
Yeah, the one fishy finger extended. They only have 4 fingers, so it kind of.
So it's a thumbs up.
I think they only have 4 fingers.
He's cool with it. All right, and I'm gonna attack with my offhand. Uh,
Oh no, they have 5 fingers. Yeah, he flips you off.
fuck you too, bitch. And I'm gonna attack with my offhand. And I'm attacking like the base of the arm.
Okay.
So that like so I'm not this time I'm not specifically trying to lop anything off. I'm
Gotcha.
trying to stab at him. All right. Okay.
You
So
hit.
I
Roll damage.
okay. So that is just plus. Oh no, it's just +5. Wait. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing. I didn't switch. That is 10 damage to his, I guess, shoulder or
Yeah,
whatever.
you stab into the sort of it's the what's the first segment of your arm called? The upper arm, I guess.
The bicep?
You stab into the upper arm, and are you trying to remove it?
No.
Okay, you stab down into it.
Has his face popped out yet?
The creature kind of shifts uncomfortably, and its head does that spinning thing where it spins around and sort of opens its jaw at you. And you hear, ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a universal, or I guess it's more of a, but it's a yeah.
Just a little noise with its back scope.
And I just like
Yeah.
raise up my hands like what do you want me? He's in you, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I can
However,
only
the
do so
arm
much.
has stopped moving.
He dead?
Maybe.
All right. Halo's going. You always double tap, guys.
Of course.
You always double tap. So Halo's going to attack the arm too. I
Okay.
guess unless his face popped out, then Halo's stabbing him in the goddamn dome.
Nah. He hits. Go ahead, roll
I see.
damage.
Oh, I see. D6 +5.
The rest of the arm is lopped off and falls down onto the seaweed bed.
And then we both fly like way like on top of this thing.
Okay. You do so. You get out of the 10-foot radius.
I get away far away from that thing. That's not far enough. Oh, that's my distance. I can't go any further. So
Excellent.
Alright, so. Are you happy? Don't eat me.
The head spins back around. The head looks down at the segment that you carved off and then spins back around on its axis towards Shylvie. Not necessarily, a little bit slowly, not in an aggressive manner. Next up in the turn order is the Kua-Toa priest. You hear a crunching noise from within the creature, and the entire body seems to twist a little bit. You see the staff sort of get dragged through the seaweed as it lifts itself up and over. The staff itself seems to crackle with a bit of electricity, and the creature winces for a moment before the staff slowly begins to bend ever so slightly.
No.
And then it is the creature's turn. The creature says to you, Shylvie, it says, "That will do for now. Now, what to do with the rest?" And it sort of curls in on that point and sort of looks its entire body up and down. I can still hear them.
Are the Kua-Toa still alive?
Many calling out. Not as loud. Not out loud. But I still hear them. That's the serpent's turn. Next up in the turn order is Siegfried. Siegfried, are you gonna do anything in particular as you see You saw... Or here, we can get rid of the Kua-Toa priest. Yeet. Yeah. You saw your friend lop off the Kua-Toa arm from it. The entire creature sort of spun and is starting to kind of bend the staff as it readjusts its bony body. You actually see some more obsidian spikes almost kind of grow out of the segment where the Kua-Toa priest's body likely was, covered in blue blood and sort of shifting under the dirt and the water that's in the area to kind of almost clean themselves. And the head is still locked on Shylvie at her.
So Siegfried's gonna sink his axe into the ground and just sit down.
Okay, kind of a sign of non-aggression. It's acknowledged. The creature sort of lowers itself ever so slightly as you do so. Alright, Siegfried, that'll be it for you for this turn, right? Sorry there wasn't a ton of combat for you, buddy. I know you're a barbarian, but this is an interesting situation. Shylvie, it is your turn.
Alright.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright. I am notoriously bad at these.
You can do it. Gambateo.
Oh, well, I'm not notoriously bad at them. I do have proficiency. So, they're better than some of my wisdom checks. Oh, I really failed that.
As the drops drip down onto you, into you, and spread, they sort of seem to congeal around your eyes. You feel this weariness permeate your form. You have trouble maintaining cohesiveness as you sort of droop a little bit, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws until further notice.
I mean, I don't mind that.
All right, it is your turn, Shylvie.
Oh, the
All right.
slumbering serpent makes you sleepy.
I am going to ask that it move its body up so that I am going to ask it to move its body up so that the Kua-Toa priest is exposed in between wherever it is. And then cast heat metal on Halo.
Curious. It is dead. It speaks no more.
I think it meant more metaphorically when I was saying it's still here. The voices are probably the prayers of the fish people towards it. So it doesn't matter that these guys are dead because there's still other fish people praying to it. It still can't fall asleep.
The blood that drips from the blades is all that remains.
Bars.
Oh, damn, he beat me to it.
Their spirits continue to cry for revenge, for salvation, for conquest. I have no interest, but the mortal form they bind it to. The mortal form is bound to these things. Even now, I fight against their prayers.
Oh shit. The god is being controlled. That's low key like deep. Oh, it's underwater.
That's what it tells you, Shylvie, in response to that.
Or his bars earlier.
It rotates its segment so that this slightly bent staff is above, though.
If you would like,
take your prize. A treasure from the deep. For removing one nuisance.
I will help you go back to sleep. I don't think that I can call you friend just yet. But I hope that one day we may find each other in a situation when we can. Good night is something that I hope I can tell you sometime. Very well.
I hope so too.
Good night, sweet moon.
Interrupt anything, but I was kind of hoping to sing the Shark Boy Dream song.
I don't know that. Oh, fucking.
now we got-
Oh, now I know it. Dream, 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 dream. Close your eyes, shut your mouth, or my fist will punch you out. Dream, 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 dream. Oh, man, that's a deep cut. Oh, man. Shylvie, are you doing anything?
Yes, and Shylvie will cast the sleep spell, even if it doesn't do.
Okay. You cast sleep, and the magic permeates the area around the serpent, and seems to be immediately this sort of like lightish blue sort of mist of the sleep spell congeals into this form, seems to turn black, and like a black just cloud that slowly begins to seep into the form of the creature. The obsidian spikes that are jutting out recede as it absorbs this magic, and the bones begin to fall away. The creature is currently passive, not in combat, and not trying to stay awake, and has nothing keeping it awake now. The bones shift. You see cracks in the skull form. Little chips of bone fall away in the patterns of the skulls that had originally formed it. The eyes shift towards Shylvie, and you see those lights again. This is not the only form they found me to. There are more. Deep down, and another gnaws at my very being. So many try to awaken me. If my eyes ever open again, I won't be able to stop the wrath that flows forth. Thank you, small one. A denizen of the... Sorry?
You're very welcome.
A denizen of the deep. May you find a good rest. Shylvie,
Yep.
add a trait to your character sheet.
All right. Personality trait?
No. Put it in your features and traits column with your class abilities.
Okay. Yep.
You were immune to the nightmare aspect of the dream spell. And that's it.
Damn, that really worked. I'm really glad that I just offhandedly was like, wait, it's sleepy. Put
The
it more to
bones of the
sleep.
creature begin to fall away. You see this... So just to emphasize, it's a lot of bones. This is a village of people's worth of bones, plus the invading force that had taken over the village. Begin to slowly fall away. You see the bones. Some of the bones float up in the water. Some fall down to the sea. The inky blackness that sort of surrounded the creature and that was congealing in the air, the aspects that were falling in the air fade away. They no longer exist. The aspects that remained in the sea seem to be sticking around, although dissipating ever so slightly slower. It appears that the aspects seem to remain in the water more consistently than in the land. The skull begins to lower down gently until it rests onto the floor in front of Shylvie, and you see that light fade once again out as the black inky substance surrounding the creature that seemed to be holding it all together begins to sort of steam away and sort of fade and drip off into the ground and into the sea. And all that remains now are the bleach white bones of this serpent aspect of the slumbering serpent. We are now out of combat.
I'm gonna pick up that staff. Sick, guys, we did it.
You do so. It is slightly bent in the middle. Ever so slightly. But it's
Can
still...
I use mending to try to...
You know what? I mean, technically, in the instance of this item, you attempt to sort of mend, and you see the wooden staff on the inner segment straighten right back up into its original form, and then immediately crack a little bit back as the onyx is much more smooth than it had been originally in the priest's hand, at least the segments that were inside the creature. It almost seems like and the tip of the tail of the statuette seems to almost have like dripped and melted a little bit.
It's been refined? That's sick.
The bottom segment, yes. The bottom segment is quite sharp. A pure pointed onyx. The wooden staff on the inside, as I said, you mend it and it begins to straighten back out, but then is immediately cracked back into the angle. It's sort of like a if a straight line is 180 degrees, it's at like 170. Like, it's not a huge bend, but it is enough to sort of make it less of a, staff at this point.
It's a slightly bent lightning spear.
Essentially.
Digging it. This is sick.
About a 3.5 foot long coiling segment. I'll just say
rolls plus 1d6 lightning damage.
It is. For all I will send you the statistics in a little bit. I have to write them up. As it was a prize given willingly by a god of the sea, it may be slightly better than if you had just ripped it out of it.
I was trying to help.
I'm saying this seems like a very good outcome.
Ooh.
Zen, are you holding this slightly curved, spiraling onyx staff?
Zen is observing the shit out of this thing right now.
Yeah. The segment
like,
that was outside of the creature still seems to be that crude sort of open jaw, a roaring jaw aspect of the serpent. You get the feeling that if the serpent had been roaring and opening its mouth and thrashing about, it would have seemed a similar visage. You all never really experienced that, though, as between Shylvie's words and the passive actions and active assistance of her teammates seems to have resolved this situation with a aspect of the slumbering one corrupted and bound to mortal form by forces outside of its desired.
Well, now we have to kill a lot of fish people, guys. This is probably the best thing that could have happened. Now we have cause.
Siegfried's gonna walk up to Zen and then point at the bones and then point at his 8 axe as if saying, make him an axe out of these bones.
Oh.
The bones are all relatively small except for the skull, which is sort of cracked and
Mending on the skull.
It is now just a series of bones, so fuck it, mending works. It is an object now, so yeah. You're able to give it a semblance of what it had originally looked like on the creature when it was actively moving around. You're able to just seal up the cracks. Like I said, it's about a 3 foot long, 2 foot wide skull.
I'm also going to say this to Siegfried. I think I'm going to make you some armor. And I think you should try to buy that shield that was at the magic shop.
All the rest of the bones are of the creatures that were slain in the village, which are Kua-Toa and Tritons.
Should we search the village to see if we can find anything of note? Maybe we can find some things to bring back to town. Or maybe there's some loot that the Kua-Toa left behind.
I don't think I should Any armor?
No, honestly. So your dex.
So
is
we do
pretty
have to
low.
return with the news that Glub Glub has been.
Oh, they're all dead. but-
that his entire hometown has been massacred.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying maybe we
Like
should
Kua-Toa.
check it out, and there could be some cool stuff.
Was that axe a no-go?
No, I can. Oh, to make an axe out of. I mean, it depends on if the
There are a bunch
bone
of
is
human-sized bones, and smaller.
I mean, I can make you an axe. That's
Yeah.
that's. The, I
Oh,
can, I,
the other thing, Shylvie is going to start moving. Is going to start moving the bones into 50% into the menagerie behind them and 50% into the water.
I will say, the menagerie, I recall, if you recall, is the menagerie itself. The cliff face of the plateau the menagerie exists upon is a little ways away, a bit of a walk, probably like a 15-minute walk away,
Well,
and then you
the
have
forest
to
surrounding it.
climb up. And yes, the forest surrounding it. Which bones do you send to the forest, and which ones do you return to the sea?
The Kua-Toa I put in the forest, and the Triton I put in the sea.
Siegfried wants to keep the skull.
the big one.
It is a rather large, rather heavy skull. It's about 25 pounds.
We should honestly probably keep it to show the town.
That's
to
fine.
To like.
I still wear it.
It's relatively hollow. Like I said, 2.5 foot wide by 3 foot. It's kind of like backpacks. It's a little bigger than it's like a large backpack or a large suitcase.
That's pretty fucking sick. We could make it into a suitcase.
I'm saying that's how big it is. Now, you don't need to make it into a suitcase.
Please don't.
A home for my salamander.
Ooh, that's even cooler.
I mean, that's actually kind of... I hate to say it, and I know you know, but that's kind of badass, yeah.
Honestly, that's probably the best use it could be put to.
You let your salamander down and kind of inspect it, and it sort of crawls in one of the eye sockets and sort of curls up. It doesn't necessarily have much of a floor to it, as it was a jaw, and
Don't worry,
jaws don't
guys.
really
I
have a
got
bottom.
this. Give me some time when we get back to town. This is gonna be the sickest, but also respectful.
Shylvie, as you are
Oh,
tossing the
that's
Triton
bad.
bones into the sea, you see that black substance congeal around the skulls when you toss them in for just a moment before slowly dissipating away from them. And the little globules fading off into the sea. Congealing around the eyes of the skulls and then sort of dripping like teardrops off and floating deeper into the water.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you.
So, do you guys want to explore the place to see if there's anything of worth and/or anything we could bring back for the town to, like any keepsakes that someone that is related or friends with might want?
As a reminder, your original mission was to determine what happened to Glub Glub.
Yeah, he's dead as fuck. Come on.
We don't know that yet.
I see a skull right there that looks a lot like Glub Glub, drifting, floating down into the water. It's up to you.
I guess we should look at the rest of the rooms. I didn't look at them all.
We didn't look at it. Well, yeah.
You have not explored these rooms, this building, or this building, and you haven't seen most of this building.
And I can breathe in water.
I
Shoot,
can't,
I
so you
can
guys can do that.
You can hold your breath for like 4 minutes though. Also, flying speed doesn't translate to swim speed, so never mind. So yeah, I guess let's explore.
Would I have a swimming speed or like?
Your swimming speed is half of. You don't have a swim speed, therefore you swim at half your movement speed.
So
Okay.
you can swim
Rounded down.
20 feet per round. All right. So should we make investigation rolls or something?
What are you guys investigating? Are you just what in general is going to happen here? Just describe to me what you all do. What are you looking at? What are you looking for?
We're just searching in these rooms for anything.
Okay. You all search around the rooms. This building has various, food supplies, some caught fish, a couple of aquatic-looking fruits of various sorts. You guys know from being around town, these are kind of a common, like the apple of the sea, essentially. It's sort of this hard seed fruit that you crack open, and it has this sort of fleshy red inside that you eat. There's a couple of cooking supplies, a sort of heated rock that seems to emit heat, so there's that. What else? You're able to, if you go about looting, you are able to find a good chunk of gold. You're able to find about 100 gold spread throughout the rooms and throughout various places. When you finally get over to these rooms in the back, on the bottom floor, you see in the back of a room 3 figures unconscious.
There's some people alive.
Tied up in ropes.
Club?
Sleeping. You entering does not disturb them at all. What do you all do?
I'm gonna put the staff in my bag, or like.
It's difficult to put in your bag on account of it being 3.5 feet long, and you strap it to your back.
Yeah.
Does these people have pockets?
They are wearing various sorts of kind of basic clothing that floats around them in various sorts. I guess they could have pockets. Yeah.
Pockets.
Hey brother, run your pockets.
One of them has 15 silver pieces in his pocket. The other one has a little square of fish meat.
All useful. All useful.
The other one seems to have a fishbone toothpick. And they don't wake up as you as you kind of check through their pockets. They seem to be very deep in a very, very deep slumber.
Poke them with that fishbone toothpick.
The figure reacts a little bit, and their eyes sort of flutter, but they remain unconscious.
Are they Kua-Toas?
They are Tritons.
Okay, so I'm gonna start carrying them out.
Okay, you all begin to carry these 3 Tritons out. One of them is a smaller female figure. Another is kind of a more heavy-set, rotund for a Triton. They're still usually very slim, but athletic build. But this one has a little bit more of a beer gut to him. And then another one you take out has sort of, instead of the kind of light bluish fins that is typical, seems to have these like striped green fins along the sides of their head, and sort of bigger eyes, although they're closed at this moment, than most of the others.
I'm gonna feed them good berries.
I'm gonna ask a question here.
Okay. You kind of put the good berries into their mouth, and you're able to get them to chew it, but they swallow. A couple of cuts and bruises they seem to heal up, but other than that, they remain unconscious.
Well,
Siegfried, you were asking a question?
Be controversial. All right. Slavery allowed in this country?
Veto. DM veto. Stop that.
This is not brisk.
So, this one's even a barbarian. It makes even more sense.
Alright, so
Shylvie would probably try to kill you in your sleep if you did that. Just saying.
Then even though
Siegfried might try to kill you when he's awake.
Hush.
Fair
Enough
point.
of that.
Yeah.
So was that the last room?
Yes, and as I said, about 100 gold and various aquatic supplies. You're able to gather a couple of fishing harpoons, 5 fishing harpoons in good order. There's a couple of those sticky shields left over from the Kua-Toa. They're not exactly super great, and they seem to have lost a lot of their stickiness. It appears that the Kua-Toa have some sort of substance that they spit on it to make it sticky. There's a couple of spears. Actually, there's a shit ton of spears. There's like 10 spears in various states of disrepair. You go to the ritual room, and all of the bones are gone expectantly. The altar is smashed. And there are various marks in the floor that probably used to be Kua-Toa.
Alright, well,
You see a couple of loose teeth, perhaps, that didn't get absorbed into the full mass of the creature.
So they're not waking up no matter what we do?
Nothing you do seems to be waking them up. Maybe a magical slumber of some sort, perhaps.
Alright, then. We could just throw them over the horses and take them with us to town.
Yeah. Alright. And I will say, we still have quite a while left for the night, if you all would like to play this out, heading back to town and all that.
Yeah, I would like to.
I want to head to that elementalist, even if it's just getting there.
Ha! Don't be too focused on that, friend. We do have a very pressing situation to deal with.
Huh?
You strap the skull to the side of the horse, as well as your Triton friends. As you're all traveling, a couple hours, one of them wakes up. The one with the beer gut begins to stir. What a lovely sleep. Oh, yeah, of course. Why are we on a horse? What?
Horse is he on?
Huh? Siegfried, he's on your horse.
Siegfried's gonna try to knock him out again.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Siegfried! Siegfried, come on, just be cooperative for once, please. Actually, you know what? I don't say that because you were very cooperative during the fight. Do whatever you want. Just don't kill him.
Oh.
You whack him up the side of the head, and he's like, "Bro, why?
Wake up.
I'm gonna use Shylvie's big inspiration.
You hit.
sick.
A D6.
For fuck's sake. You hit. You're using a bardic inspiration for shit like this. You fucking hit. Whatever. You whack him in the side of the head.
It's gonna go away anyway. You might as well.
He falls back unconscious. You all heard the guy start to talk, and then whack. Blah, blah.
You know what? That's within character. I'm gonna give him that. And I'm just like,
A couple
well,
more hours pass, and
wake up
the
again.
gentleman with the striped greenish fins, begins to stir. He's on the other horse. Oh, why? Oh, traveling. Are we getting rescued or kidnapped?
Honestly, given the nature of some of the members of this group, I don't know which one it is.
The girl's on my.
Well, you're not speaking Undercommon, so that's good. Hi there. I'm James Glubberson.
Oh, you're Globby. Cool.
What
Glob.
What the hell happened?
We saved your goddamn life.
I see. Anybody else survive? And he looks around and he sees the young female and the rather rotund Triton, and he says, "This isn't everyone, are they?"
Everyone else is bones.
Oh. That's... Did the Kua-Toa do it?
Yep, they did some weird ritual and summoned an aspect of the slumbering serpent.
Whoop. And as you say that, his eyes, by the way, are huge, widen even more, and he's just like, no way. No way they were able to do that.
Nope, totally did it. Though it was only it was like a skeleton serpent. It was pretty cool though. He was a cool dude. He does not want to be awake. He wants to be asleep. But
of course it doesn't want to be awake. That's what we kept trying to tell them.
Yeah,
they wanted to convert us to their ridiculous religion and awaken the serpent to bring its wrath upon the land dwellers.
It doesn't.
And you're saying they were able to bind a mortal form for it?
Yeah, it was a skeleton. You see the skeleton. You see the skull on that horse.
Holy! That's pretty metal. You killed it?
No, we made friends. Democracy!
That's interesting. It was just from looking rather monstrous, wasn't it?
Quite so.
And it didn't try to attack you at all.
Well, it wanted to originally, but and she switches over to Aquin. I know how to talk someone out of a fight.
That's good. I'm feeling rather refreshed. And he sort of tries to sit back up on the horse and sort of get more in a position more an upright position. I guess I owe you all a lot. I had a couple gold pieces back home, but I assume you may have possibly already seen those, or the Kua-Toa took them.
Don't worry about gold. A friend of yours sent us here in the first place to find you and check up on you.
That is amazingly lucky.
Yeah,
I must be the luckiest sea creature in the world.
Sure. Whatever.
That's what our employer said.
It was the Kua-Toa, actually.
So yeah, we should be back in town. Well, it'll take us like another day to get there.
Yeah, about another half a day probably. You're gonna have to camp down for the night unless you want to ride through the night. But yeah.
The horses are probably tired because they're carrying extra people. So
yeah,
we'll
the horses are not traveling at their full pace, to say the least.
Yeah, so I'll give them their good berries. Their and
they say in response. All right, you all begin to camp down for the afternoon. Some of those monkeys swing forward a little bit and sort of investigate, but such a large group of people, they watch from a distance and then slowly make their way away and don't seem to bother you for the night. Let me go ahead and roll a die in chat. It is uneventful, except for those jellyfish.
Gold falls from the sky.
You're going along the coast, and it appears you're being dragged the jellyfish are being dragged, the ring jellyfish are being dragged in the same direction as that you're traveling. You see another smaller swarm of them. These ones seem to be a different species, actually, of some sort. They make a large, what appears to be almost a mile-long chain of jellyfish. It almost looks like a sea serpent traveling through the sea if it wasn't like trying to move at all and just allowing the ocean to move it. It's very alien and almost unsettling, but it doesn't do anything, and they just glow their dull color that they glow and move in that large mass that they seem to be moving in. Otherwise, it's uneventful.
Sick. All right.
You all awaken and make your way back to the gates of Arcanautus.
The night before, I do the same thing as I did last time. 20 good berries.
Yeah. You have a pouch full of good berries. Okay. All right. So, let me collect everybody here for myself, so that I can. Oh, where'd Leon go? Uh-oh.
Bless you.
Whoops. Oh, there he is. Hi, Leon.
Zen
Welcome to the party.
So Zen has a favorable impression of sea serpents.
The monsters are the true press.
But, yeah. They were saying all this crazy stuff about the slumbering serpent. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. But those fish people, nah.
Fish with legs and arms, they're the real monsters.
Alrighty. Everybody's back on this page here. You all return to the main city of Arcanautus, the capital.
Home, sweet home.
Yes, its tall spire seems very exciting to get back to, all things considered.
Were you
It's nice to be
erasing
back.
something?
Yep.
Yeah. I know sounds.
Yep. That's the undo key being rapidly clicked.
So yeah,
Alright.
you all return to Arcanautus. The guards see you at the... Oh, one sec. The guards see you all begin to arrive with some extra passengers, and actually the guard that had acknowledged you as you left last time is there and recognizes the horses and the people, and sort of raises a hand and says, "Hail, y'all! Coming back home from your adventure? What have you got there?" And he begins to look around, and he sees the Tritons. Glub Glub waves and says, "We're here to see Zabek, Coastline Health Complex." And the guard acknowledges him with a nod and continues to look around, gets to Siegfried's horse, looks over to the side, and his eyes go wide in like surprise, and like a big dopey smile comes on his face, and he says, "Ho ho ho! Y'all slayed a sea monster while you were out there. Good stuff. Oh, I'm sure someone's gonna want to hear about that. Were you guys working for someone, or?" Yeah, either way, you said you want to go see Coastline Health Complex. Head on in. And they just let you through the gates. No problem. You see by the stables of that entrance one Derek Horseman in his outfit, smoking his pipe that you'd seen him smoking before. He sort of acknowledges you all and says, "Only lost one, huh?" As he sort of gives you a nod and
Ben
a
looks
grin.
at Shylvie and just shakes his head.
And he sort of gives you a smile as you all ride into the city.
Let's go, Kevin.
So, are you all riding through the city over to the Coastline Health Complex?
Might as well.
All right. It's relatively early morning when you all arrive. I'd say like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because you made your camp early enough, and then you just all headed out early in the day in order to get to the place early enough in the morning. As you're riding through town, people begin to notice the skull of the creature on Siegfried's horse. A couple of folks kind of look over and like nod and smile. A couple of sailors.
Siegfried's gonna puff out his chest too.
Yeah,
Yo, we got some clout.
a couple of
We don't deserve it though.
Yeah, a couple of sailors that see it kind of clap and like point and like nod their heads, and like they like one slaps another's back and points, and like they see and they like are smiling and nodding. People seem to like killing sea serpents around here.
I'm conflicted. I feel
a
conflicted.
little child runs up to Siegfried on his horse and says,
little
Mister,
child.
did you kill a sea serpent?
He's gonna nod his head yes.
Oh, that's so cool. How big was it? Was it this big? And he like holds his arms out as far as he can.
About halfway out of the water, it was 30 feet high, and he wasn't the one who killed it. I talked it out of fighting us. And
It was
just
killed
kind of
with
died.
kindness.
That's weird. That's not like a story. It was a talk. Mommy, these people killed a talking sea monster.
Well, it was already...
Jimmy, please stop bothering these lovely people. And like the human woman comes over and sort of grabs her son by the shoulders, and it's just like, sorry for him bothering you, but good work with that. And she sort of drags him back along.
I pat Shylvie on the shoulder and be like, it's probably better if we don't spread what really happened. You know, the whole aspect of the slumber server thing.
Talking sea monster, mommy. It talked.
The whole, you know, like the end of the world thing. You might want to just let people think what they think.
Sea monster talked more than Siegfried did.
So technically it never spoke out loud, to be fair. Siegfried, you never heard this thing talk. You're almost unsure what they're...
That's true. The whole time he was extremely confused.
They could have been just pulling your leg that whole time. Could you fucking imagine? Just like, wait, the crab monster is speaking to us. Siegfried, don't attack it.
And then Siegfried just gets bodied.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'm just goofing. Okay. Sorry.
Note to self: start faking you're talking to something if you don't want Siegfried to kill it immediately.
Well, just from a meta perspective, now he's thinking of it. Anyways, you're able to all
might not
arrive at the
always
coastline
work.
health complex. You tie up your horses, and the two Triton folks, the woman has finally awoken as you enter the city, and she looks around, and she, like, gets wide-eyed and just, like, looks around, and Glub Glub puts a hand on her shoulder and says, you're okay. These folks saved us. We're gonna be alright.
I want to move to this town.
Where's Dad? And he looks over at you all. Did the chief make it?
Siegfried's gonna the he's dead symbol, like putting his thumb across the throat.
Yeah. And a Glub Glub says to the girl, Ugraka's in he's joined the serpent in his slumber. And she sort of nods her head and sort of lowers it sadly, sort of chokes back some sobs, and sort of just is quietly crying on the back of the horse.
Siegfried's gonna give her the salamander to pet. Let's hope it doesn't eat her.
It's not big enough to yet.
Well, it did eat that entire Kua-Toa. Like I said, it's the size of a chihuahua now. Salamander.
So it's now bastard size.
Salamander. Oh no. She grabs the salamander, and it sort of, she kind of pets it a little bit, and the salamander kind of wiggles slowly out of her hands, and she's like, no, and it sort of like slips out of her hand and onto the ground, and sort of begins walking in the direction of that child that you had been talking to earlier.
Oh no! Siegfried's gonna jump off the horse and start chasing it.
You're able to easily grab it up. It's a relatively slow creature at this moment. And yeah, you're able to grab it up and put it back in its
The horse is just still going, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Siegfried's fast, and it's fine.
Xana's like, yo, that thing.
Siegfried's gonna look around to see if anyone saw that.
One or two people might have noticed, but they think it's just someone letting their pet get out of the order. It's fine. Nobody's reacting currently.
He tried to eat a child, Siegfried. Rein in your lizard. Or amphibian.
You're able to arrive at the Coastline Health Complex, no problem. The early morning sun is continuing to beat down on the relatively calm seas today. Calmer than they've been lately. You've all been gone for a little while. You notice immediately things seem mostly back to normal, which is almost kind of strange given the polluted nature of the place when you left. You enter the Coastline Health Complex, and there are papers everywhere. Scientists are using up basically every available space they can with equations and various writings of theories, and you see one in the corner in the fetal position just sort of rocking back and forth. And you see Zabek at the secretary's desk talking rapidly to the secretary and like waving around a piece of paper like, don't you understand? This is the word. They can't just... Oh, hey guys! Welcome back! And Glub Glub enters behind you. The pot-bellied... Sorry? I interrupted you. Sorry, say again.
No, I kind of interrupted you, but...
The pot-bellied Triton takes
what
the...
happened this time.
Yeah, naturally. And Zabek said, you guys came on in. You probably saw the port got reopened fully.
Oh.
Nothing has changed underwater. I'll tell you that much.
Oh,
We can still smell the crazy shit from the flooded section. Like nobody's listening to me. Guys, nobody's listening to me.
I point to the skull. They might listen now.
Couple of
Whoa!
situations.
What is the... What is that? Also,
Uh,
Glub, oh my god. And he, like, runs over to Glub, and Glub's like, ah, come here, you. And he's like, oh, Glub. Oh, I'm so happy to see you're alive, buddy. Oh, were you able to find anything of note? And Glub is just like, no. What do you mean? What do you mean state? What do you mean poison? Or what do you mean poison? What's his Zabek is like, did you guys not tell him about what's going on?
He was sleeping most of the ride back.
Woke up from being unconscious a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, it looks like everybody has stories.
We might want to talk in a private space.
Okay, all right. Come to my left. No, we're gonna go to the. No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to a bar. And Zabek slaps the paper down and says, "Just deal with this. File it. Send it where it's gotta go. They're not gonna accept it anyways. Don't worry. It's fine." And he's kind of just lamenting and goes to travel with you guys.
I asked him, "Does he have our loot?"
What? Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. We. Give me a minute. And he goes and runs off. And he collects the various things, and he says, "Okay." And he brings out a small, like, foot-long jewelry box, and he says, "So that skull right there tells me enough of a story that I think you guys probably deserve these." And he opens the case, and it's got 3 more rings of poison resistance. And he hands it off to you all and says, "There's that." And hands you a satchel of coin. "That's 500. A couple of good Samaritans contributed, I'm sorry, I should say, it's 150 gold each. Everybody add 150 gold to the amount you have."
Yep.
Okay. So should we just add, like, 180 because of the 100 gold we found?
Oh shit, I forgot to distribute it.
Should we just make it 180?
Leon isn't included in that, so yeah, 180.
We can bite the 10. I don't think anyone has any issues with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus 8 is 2.
Leon, or here.
Alright, I have 2124 GP now.
Jesus.
Nice.
How do you have so
Yeah,
much?
I haven't spent much.
I've also been giving you guys gold out the wazoo, and yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna repeat to Siegfried. Yeah, your natural because your dexterity isn't very high, your defenses aren't gonna get much better than they are. So
I think he loses his unarmored movement though, doesn't he? If he wears armor, or is that any armor above medium?
Let's see.
You're gonna have to look up the barbarian trait for it.
Yeah, I can do it right now.
I think that's for the monk. I don't think it's for the barbarian.
No, well, unarmored movement is affected. I think it might only be heavy though. Unarmored. Where is it? Oh wait, does he not have unarmored? He might not even have it yet.
He doesn't.
He doesn't
there
have
you go.
unarmored movement.
He says unarmored defense.
Oh shit! So
That's the same thing. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. It's absolutely not. Why'd I say that?
Wait. So what does your movement speed say?
30.
How much?
30.
I can't hear what he says.
30.
30?
Anyways, I think let's just finish off with, so we got our rewards and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, and you all return, I assume, to the bar,
Yeah, I
to
guess.
the, waves crash, right?
I guess.
Zabek mentions, you know what, actually, we could get, I never go to the Noble District, but you know what, I'm feeling up to it. You guys want to hit up the, let me just get the, name again. Oh, it's one of the first things I wrote. One sec. The Yaya Gleam Brews place. They have private rooms that we could probably rent out and get a bottle of Yaya Gleam. I'm willing to take the tab on this one.
Sweet. Plug it.
Awesome. And he just kind of waves that off. The rotund Triton with the belly mentions, "I'll find me and the girl a place to stay. My name's Glinda, by the way. This is Dixai." Ugh. Okay, one sec.
Well, as I go, I say, try the waves crash. He's a pretty cool dude. He might have space.
Thank you very much, friends. We owe you our lives. And they head off. Glub Glub is going to go with you, though. You lot and Glub Glub and Zabek arrive in the gates to the Noble District. At which you are stopped as per usual. And the guard there, this one of the more higher ranking Salt Guard that are in plate mail at this point, one of the primary guards that is posted there at all times, indicates toward you all, "State your business in the Noble District." Zabek immediately speaks up, "We're going to get a drink and have a intense discussion about political and environmental nonsense." And he hands a small satchel off to the gentleman. The gentleman looks inside and says, "All right, go on through. No funny business." And he leans over and he sees the sea serpent skull, and he says, "Whoa, wait a minute. Were you on a contract for one of the houses?"
Just reset for me for some reason.
Okay, sorry. The guard at the gate was about to let you pass, but then he saw the big-ass skull on Siegfried's horse, and he says, Whoa, wait. Are you all on a mission from one of the houses?"
No.
Not currently.
Not currently.
I can't I hate to say it, but I can't really have you flaunting sea monster skulls around town.
Flaunting? It's just hanging off a horse. If you don't want,
He
people don't want to look at it, they don't have to look.
But
roll persuasion for someone?
I will.
Okay.
Doopy doop 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 doopy doopy doop. $13. Nothing fancy.
Can I give him
Just
advantage?
don't
'Cause I
make a
was
big
also
deal
saying-
about it.
Okay.
And
It's not
don't
like
go
we killed
bringing it
or
around any
anything.
residences, alright?
It's not like we killed it. That we just found.
So, sorry, what?
But shit, nothing. Alright, let's go, guys.
And he sort of keeps his eyes on you as you guys all pass through.
Want us to have
As
zero
you're leaving,
clout?
he seems to lean over to the side and
Stop
you don't see his head.
saying these things. You're
You want us
giving
to have no clout? Like what?
reputation.
Anyways, you all
is
arrive at the Yaya
valuable.
Gleam. It is a glorious building. A couple of pillars outside of it, leaving the overhang for an upstairs outside eating area right above the main entrance of the building. As you go and enter the double doors, you find an elegant meadery hall of the utmost quality. 2 fires, hearths on either side, with shelves lined with fancy plates and various glasses on display. At the back counter, you see a raised-up bar, from which a large, sort of ornate, circular, sort of spinning, like a 3-foot wide, 4-foot wide spinning display of drinks seems to slowly, ever so slowly rotate, as a couple of folks in some finer clothing are in the various seats, enjoying either wine or some of the Ayaglim brew that is so popular here, consumed out of a similar glass, except with a notable little slice of Yayaglim on the edge of it, sort of like you would see a lemon garnish. This is a common drink amongst this particular place. It's specialty, in fact. Most people that are drinking here are drinking this. Not too many folks this early in the morning, but just enough to give you a flavor of the type of people that...
God damn it, it's always day drinking in this town.
It's a port city, what do you expect? But a couple of folks sharing... so, actually, now that you mention that... very few people. Only about 2 groups of like 3 or 4 people are at various bars. They seem to mostly be doing like a meeting or like formal meetings, informal meetings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there are like this building was big enough that there are probably several large rooms in the back. And you see actually signage near the front that gives rates for various types of rooms, for meeting rooms, bedding. That type of stuff. It seems they rent out various aspects of the building for various reasons. The gentleman at the bar is... Let me get his description. Again, the bars are the first things that I wrote, so I gotta scroll all the way up in my notes to find them, hilariously enough. Okay. Tended by one Sir Clavin, a retired Triton paladin of a forgotten ocean goddess. You see a rather tall Triton gentleman of rather sturdy stock, though not quite as sturdy as Crasher Wave, more of an athletic build. And he is in a rather fine sort of suit as he tends bar. The sleeveless sort of vest that he's wearing as opposed to a full suit, sort of what you would expect a formal upper-class bartender would be wearing. He has what appears to be sort of like a Finnish mustache, almost, kind of like... It's strange kind of formation for a Triton to have, not exactly what you're used to seeing, as this Finn mustachioed gentleman acknowledges you lot, and then sort of acknowledges you again, but narrows his eyes a little bit and smiles in a sort of confused way. What are y'all wearing?
What are you wearing?
I have my studded leather armor on. That's just my normal adventuring gear.
Yeah.
And I have the
Siegfried, what do you wear?
Well, he wears like traditional, like, I guess you would call it a skirt. Not really.
And no shirt?
No shirt.
Okay. And then Shylvie, what is your current form?
Still IASO, although I made sure to make the general flesh cape, the flesh clothes and flesh cape a little bit gloss than usual.
Okay.
Just basically same as my normal form would be, but shinier and a little bit prettier.
Gotcha, okay. Is the skull on the horse outside?
Would we bring it in?
No.
It's a bit of a thing to carry around is the only thing. You know, it's not a small skull.
Is it safe?
Your horses are stabled as per one of the a stable hand assists you. The bar appears to have its own miniature stable for the traveling sort. And he indicates, "Oh yeah, Gov, your big old scary skull will be safe as rain in here."
I look at the guy and I'm like, that's good, because this guy wouldn't be happy if anything happened to it. And I point at Siegfried.
Yeah, and you intimidate the stable hand sufficiently, and then back to the scene as I described it before.
Okay.
Sweet.
New travelers. Excellent. Always good to see new faces. But you are not the typical guests that we get here. May I ask what you would like from us today? And Zabek mentions, 1 meeting room, please. And he slaps some coins, some gold coins down on the counter. The Triton sort of slowly looks down at him, kind of nods, and takes the coins and says, all right. Reaches under, hands off a room key to Zabek and says, 3A, down the left hallway on the 2nd floor. Try not to cause trouble.
Oh, and speaking of which, could you get a pitcher of plain water? Doesn't even need to be clean. I would just like it.
A pitcher of water? This I can do.
Thank you.
And he sort of grabs a pitcher of water and says, 50 copper is very fresh. And you just toss him the coins, and it's just like, enjoy.
Five silver pieces. Here you are.
Enjoy. It's more for the glass than for the water at that point. And then he sends you off with your pitcher of water, and Glub Glub mentions, Zabek, you almost forgot. And Zabek mentions, any of you want a drink?
I've already got mine.
What was everybody else's responses?
I said I don't day drink.
Siegfried said no.
All right, then I think we're good. And he kind of quickly heads up the stairs, and you all enter the lovely meeting room. It's got this nice back, large window about like 5 feet up about 3 feet up that then goes across the entire back wall of the room. There's a large sort of central meeting table and a wheeling blackboard off to the side that can be utilized or not. And Zabek says, okay, and he pulls the shades on the big window and says, lay it on me, y'all. What are we dealing with on your end?
Can we just say we recap him without having to actually...
Yeah, you recap him and you tell him the full truth.
Yep.
Okay, you tell Zabek the full truth of the situation. The Kua-Toa, the ritual, the serpent that rose, the inky blackness, the creature communicating with you, the god not wanting to be awakened, you discovering the survivors, them being unconscious for hours and hours and hours, waking up, arriving back. You got the skull, brought it in, it's super cool. His reaction in general is, oh, holy shit, this is really, really bad. And not with, this is a whole new flavor of bad from the flavor of bad that we're dealing with back in the port. Wow, okay. So I'm dealing with encroaching, difficult anti-biological life that is adapted to a chaos poison in the waters. You know those purple worm things that you gathered up?
Yeah,
They're all in the sediment now. In the bottom of the sea. All in it.
Is that good?
No, it's really, really bad. We've had to kill a lot of various bottom dwellers. Crabs are being very heavily affected. A couple of bottom-dwelling fish. They're parasites. They dig into a creature and they make it go a little crazy, as well as mutating it ever so slightly to suit the chaotic needs of this strange little demon parasite that apparently is being summoned by this awful chaos rot. I don't fully understand how they are created, but I theorize that it has something to do with them being a congealed chaos aspect. It's a very strange situation. They're not exactly the most... They're not really biological, as they are just demons. Tiny worm demons. But apparently, because that's not harming the ships as they come into and out of port, it's not a problem. We're not getting shipments of crab anymore, but, I mean, from elsewhere we are, but if anywhere else gets contaminated like this, many of the fish and aquatic creatures and anything that exists along the sea floor will not be able to be consumed or sold or whatever. And I don't know what happens when these get into people, by the way. That hasn't happened yet. But if it happens, that could be really bad. I've sent warnings ahead to the Sky Knights. I haven't heard anything back. I've sent a warning to the Saltmire House itself to see if they could lend aid or even have the Salt God begin to do some kind of control. But nothing. They're giving me nothing. They're saying deal with it and send out post warnings on the docks. And that's what they told me to do.
You might be able to help with the Saltmire part.
I've noticed the red-haired one actually traveling by every so often selling talismans, so yeah, that's interesting.
That's a scam.
It is. I grabbed one, and it has a minor magical effect that makes it appear magical, and that's it.
Neat.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Gotta respect the grind, though. Though she's an awful person. She tried to make us fight a lava monster.
Uh-huh, yeah. Well, there's gonna be a lot more than lava monsters to fight in this town if we don't find a way to get rid of this impurity. I've been speaking to the local priests, and they don't know what to do. They can't, touch the water to bless it, because it's poisonous, and contact with the skin can render you unconscious and vulnerable to, falling in, and it's a goddamn mess.
What if they enchanted an object with something that can bless it or remove
seen, it's funny you mentioned that. I have seen one ship came back into port that I think you folks had interacted with, the weapons ship that comes into port every so often.
That bastard.
The guy
Let's go take his stuff.
The captain, he has a peg leg, right? I said that's the one with the peg leg?
He has a peg leg, and he has a little baby hand.
And he has a little baby hand. He had this really tiny hand, but he was actually... It seemed... And he was flipping everybody off all the time, and I don't fully understand why. I didn't ever get close, but a lot of people were just, getting pissed at him.
Yeah.
But I say that, but it seems that he had reinforced his ship with some sort of magical device in the front of it. The water was clear in front of his ship.
Oh.
We're monitoring all the ships that come in and out. It's way harder now because they let all the ships come in and out now, which is, just great. But, his ship had an aura of cleanliness around it, which was interesting, to say the least. He said it was a investment from the south. I don't know what that means, but he scares me, and I didn't want to interact with him anymore.
Zen stands up like, yes, the south.
Yeah, apparently he worked out some contract or something. I have no idea exactly what he means, though. If there's anything that you guys know about that I could glean something from.
Yes. That's actually one of the next places we're gonna go. There's apparently some sort of nomad or something, or elementalist or whatever, hermit that knows how to make contracts with elementals. And based on what you said, he probably made a contract with a water elemental to purify the water as his boat passes through to purify the chaos.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you were able to make
whoa, wait a minute. Do you think... Okay, no, I'm crazy. You would need a king's ransom. Is there any way we could... Okay, I'm just shooting this into the darkness. I don't know if you know this person or not, or if you know the extent of their powers or anything. What they did to his ship, could they do that to the whole dock?
I mean, I don't know. It would be amazing. I mean, if they did it once, it's a contract with an individual elemental. So if enough contracts were made, then potentially it would just need enough people to make contracts with different water elementals.
Huh. If you folks don't mind, I think that's the next step for the safety of the town. It's based on the evidence that I have seen. You might want to interact with that gentleman again and see if that is in fact where he got that from before you travel down. You said it's down to the south. How far?
It's near the lava island.
Oh, that's all the way south. Okay, so that's quite a few days trip. All right. Oh goodness. Check in with the dockmaster, see if that ship is in port, and if it is, you can... And you said he was a fuck? He seemed like a fuck when I talked to him as well, but if you can glean any information from him, please do let me know, or let me know that you're heading off to go do that. I will...
Have Deb go with us. She can make contract with a water one for you guys to test things out.
That is not a bad idea. Deborah seems to have taken a bit of a shining to you folks, despite your initial interactions.
Smiles.
Glub,
gives
see
a
to
dirty
sort of...
look.
Sorry?
Gives a dirty. Shylvie gives a very tired of your shit look at Siegfried again.
Smile gets even bigger.
Yeah. And Glub kind of raises a hand and speaks up. Aren't elementals particularly chaotic in nature? Binding them with a contract seems dangerous. And Zabek says, listen, Glub, I don't think you fully understand. A ship containing some apparently rather large quantity of chaos rot exploded off the shore. Chaos rot? Yeah, chaos rot. So anything, any shot in the dark, any little speck of hope that these folks can give me of cleaning up the area around the city and of the coast itself, I will take anything I can get, Glub. I will take anything I can get. And Glub kind of solemnly nods.
So,
of course, this is...
Zabek,
yes?
you, despite the lack of respect you have, you are still a member of a political agency, right? Be the head of one.
I mean, we get a little bit of government funding, yes, but it's like saying that not even the Guard. That's a bad example because they work directly for the families. I suppose what would be a good example? We don't have as much influence as you think we might have. We can post things, we can recommend policies, but everything has to go through the families to be enacted. As actual law, for example.
I see.
Everything we have is recommendations, which are taken into consideration. And he, puts quotes up, and, clearly that's something that he was told recently, and he huffs.
Well, make sure to tell we're gonna go out and do that. This is just an extra bonus. But make sure to tell the Sky Knights about everything that happened with your friend here, and tell them this note as well about the potential of working with elementals to purify the water. Because even if they're not being helpful, they would at least want the waters to be safe. So any information can help.
I think that I may be getting an idea on how to force the people's hand to clean up the mess.
Siegfried takes out his great axe.
No, not through violence. Not through violence.
Zen's eyes glowed at that moment, and then they just go down oh. We already solved one thing with friendship today. Can't we solve one with fists? Oh wait.
Well, we can solve one with economic ruin of an industry, forcing people to actually take the situation at hand seriously.
Whoa! Economic ruin? I need to get 100,000 gold, my friend.
Don't worry, it's an industry we are not involved in.
Neat. All right. And also, I just realized we can solve Fist with that guy from the boat.
You go ahead and do that. For once, I think you've earned a little bit of punishment.
Siegfried runs out of the room.
Zen follows.
Okay. And Glub continues the sentence he was in the middle of. And I think that
It's time to DM you with an incredibly stupid and convoluted plan.
Yeah, of course. And Glub continues.
Backstory
And I think that
connections
the
are
religious
about to be
zealots
used.
And I think the religious zealots from the Subsea Kingdom are beginning to be a problem as well. They haven't obviously interacted. They haven't been seen within the city, have they? And Zabek kind of says, well... And he kind of looks towards Shylvie. Do you guys think... Or I suppose, do you think...
Would Zalfos be one of those guys?
Who?
Zalfos, the cleric from
Deep
the
Scions. Deep Scions were, weren't they?
No, Zalfos. Yeah, the Deep Scions were.
Also, yeah, Zalfos is a cleric of the Slumbering Serpent, yes.
Would he be one of the crazy, like,
You don't know.
Be a bad guy? I see. Our one sponsor is a bad guy, of course.
He is a cleric of the Slumbering Serpent. Did you actually leave the room as well, or are you thinking of coming back?
If Siegfried dipped, so did Zen.
Okay.
He's not gonna.
So Shylvie, you think that maybe? Oh, hey, that's probably the Deep Scions. Wait, don't we also know somebody else who's a cleric of the Slumbering Serpent? Oh shit. So that is a thing as well. And Glub said, sorry.
So these are all people of the Slumbering Serpent trying to mess with people.
Well, Zalfos might not be, but at least the Scions are.
Yeah.
We'd have to interrogate Zalfos. Well, we'd have to ask Zalfos and check him out.
Yeah.
We know where he hangs at least, or we know how to reach him. We just have to.
Gave us a business card.
Yeah.
Alright. So, can elementals purify the water? Is Zalfos a bad guy? What are you guys gonna do with that big-ass skull? Find out next week on Arcanautus Acsent. Sorry?
No.
Will Siegfried and Zen kick the shit out of that shitty-ass captain again, whose name I happen to not remember immediately? Find out next week on Arcanautus Acsent.
Oh, god damn it.
I apologize for jumping that on you. Do you have any final notes, anybody?
Oh, I wanted to do that part. I wanted to do the shit.
Okay.
We can do that next time.
We can start off with you arriving at said place, and Zabek and Glub decide that a little bit of morning drinking is in order, and they would eventually order some Yaya Gleam, and Shylvie would be free to go.
Yeah.
So yeah. Instead of will they, I'll say how bad will they? Will Zen?
We both took our horses.
Uh-oh. Shylvie, you have a bit of a walk, about a 45-minute walk down to the docks.
Yep.
How bad will Zen and Siegfried beat up that ship captain?
Yep. And why is Shylvie first starting to show one of her personality traits that I wrote down a pretty long time ago?
I'm glad that things are working out.
Oh boy, Shylvie is starting a plot.
I am excited to see how you all continue to face the challenges of Arcanautus.
Yep.
Have a beautiful night, everybody.
Yep. All right.
Night, everyone.
See ya.